The New York Giants.
Yeah, this is a big one. A lot of mixed emotions here with him.
When I look at your dog stats, he elevated the program like right off the bat.
Jackson Patterson rocked up by Abdul Carter. No gain, and let's go to Danny Rogers.
Here, I think this guy's the closest to Micah Parsons then. We're going to see.
Throwing on the run, and it's picked off! And that's Hunter! Travis Hunter up the right side! Hunter!
But he checks the boxes for everything you look for in a cornerback. It's that twitchiness, the fluidness, how good he is at staying on receivers.
They're down at 11. Ward able to spin free of Searcy. And then goes to the end zone and in the back.
Miss the fireworks. There won't be any fireworks. And here we go.
What is up, Giants Rush Nation, Giants fans? Welcome to night 2 of New York Giants Rush Fan Appreciation. Joker here with you guys. Excited about everybody coming on tonight, seeing what's going to happen in round 3 since we got a ways to wait tonight. I got Truth with me here tonight, so I'm going to bring him in, and we know what time it is.
You can't handle the truth.
Truth, what's going on, my man?
What's going on, Shawnee? I
How
always
we doing?
laugh when I hear that. I always laugh.
It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good intro. It's a perfect intro for you. Because there's not a lot of people that can handle your truth. That's for sure.
We got some good truth last night, didn't we?
We certainly did, man. How you feeling? Listen, I know you were on last night, but how you feeling about I want to hear it from you again. How you feeling about, now that round 1's over? How you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling pretty darn good. I mean, I love pick 3. I know we were on Monday night, and we all gave our takes, and the consensus last night, definitely with the guests, was they wanted Abdul Carter.
Yep.
There were some guys who wanted the well-known guys, Sanders and Hunter, but the consensus was Carter, and I think the Giant fans are going to be happy with him.
Okay. I mean, I agree. I mean, you can't be unhappy with that pick for sure.
We stayed on a little bit later, at least until we saw the Pittsburgh pick, and there were a lot of shocked faces that Sanders didn't go there, and then we signed off, and Lord and behold, the Giants traded back down from 34 to 25 because I guess there were rumors that the LA Rams were looking to get a certain quarterback, and it was Jackson Dart. So the Giants took Jackson Dart.
There was that rumors. I think Cleveland potentially was looking at him. New Orleans was potentially looking at him as well. And whether they're true or not, I know people came out and said there was no truth to it. But I know I was looking. There were some Rams beat reporters and Rams reporters that were saying that McVay was really interested because he spent considerable amount of time with Dart the same way Daboll spent considerable amount of time. So if you're spending a considerable amount of time with somebody, you got interest. And if Rams reporters are saying it, I'm gonna.
You there?
Yeah, are you there? I think you're bugging out.
Are you there?
Yeah, Truth. Can you hear me, man?
Sure. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. You were bugging out there. You went in and out.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, we'll see. Well, there we go. A little technical difficulties. Your screen was going in and out, but you're back now, Truth. You're back.
Okay. I hope it doesn't keep doing this. Yeah, we're going to be interesting today. We're going to. I think you and I are on the same wavelengths for tonight, and we'll talk more about pick 65 with the Giants tonight. We have to wait. They only have one pick on day 2, so unless something happens, right? You never know.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe they make a trade, get an extra third rounder. Who knows? Anything's possible, but it may just be the one pick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't know.
I mean, and listen, if you
I'm curious to see what.
Go ahead, Truth.
Go ahead. No, I just said I'm curious to see what our guests think, how they feel, what their overall take is from yesterday.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we got somebody in the background. I guess their video is off right now, but Coach Ray, if you can hear me, man. If you want to turn your video on, we'll bring you on here. I think a little early, but we got you because the other person there he is. All right, we're gonna bring Coach Ray in. Hold on one second. There we go.
What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
I can. I like that. Big GM. Well done.
Yeah, you like that? I mean, you know, me and you have had conversations back and forth.
We have. It's good to put a face with it and talk face to face. So yeah, this is good, man.
Yeah, I love it, man. How's everything going?
Good. So I know you kind of gave me your thoughts on Twitter a little bit, but tell me how you're feeling, about last night with the picks. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not the biggest Carter fan, and I wasn't a big Dart fan, but the one thing I will say, and I think you and I talked about it, Shawn, is that was their plan, right? So my evaluation doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? It's like the one thing I'll say is that I believe they executed the plan that they wanted. I kind of thought it was going to be Carter and Dart for a while. I wasn't sure if they'd trade back up to get Dart, but I thought Dart was the guy because for me, I like Shador better, but I always thought that Dable would probably like Dart better, right? Like, I think Dable likes a quarterback that can be an extension of his run game, and Dart fits that mold. Milroe would be a guy, but I think when you look at Milroe throw the football, as exciting of a player as he is, you're like, bro, I can't trust you to throw a 5-yard out and actually hit the guy anywhere near his chest.
Yeah. No, you can't. You can throw it deep, but that's about it.
Yeah, like you can throw it far, but what about all the rest of the field? So the one thing I'll say is these guys got their guys, and I don't think either of them are bad players. They're not my favorite, but again, they've done their evaluation. I don't think they gave up too much for Dart, like giving up 99 and what was it, a third next year, right?
Yeah.
That's not a bad pick. No, I just didn't want to see 65 go away because I think there's still solid talent at 65. Hopefully we go interior D-line or interior O-line would be my goal for that and kind of build up those trenches. But my ultimate is like, I hope they're right. Like, I hope I'm wrong and they're right. Like, I don't want to watch bad Giants football because they're not my favorite picks, right? Like, I want them to work out, and they're our guys now, and I'm going to root for them until they show me that I shouldn't.
Right. Who did you want at 3?
I wanted Shador, but I was also okay, like, trading down and like, kind of what the Browns did and getting, like, a Mason Graham. Like, Mason Graham was my non-QB pick just because I think him next to Dex is, like, one of the best interior D lines that you're going to see. But, I wasn't upset with the Carter pick because I do think as long as Bowen shows some flexibility in the scheme and they hold on to Kayvon and don't do anything dumb like, oh, I got an edge, let me go trade Kayvon. Like, no, like, let's actually have quality depth at a position for a change. And so I'm okay with Carter. Like, I think he'll be good. Hopefully we move him around and he's not just a hand in the dirt guy. And he gets to do some A-gap blitzing and a lot of stunts and games that are things that he's done really well at Penn State in 23 and 24.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting. And again, it's for me. I wanted Shador as well. But I mean, getting a Carter, it's a guy that can really do a lot of things. And I think he's still developing as an edge guy because it was only one year as edge, and he did as well as he did. I think there's more there. But I do think I mean, you not to compare him, but you got to use him the same way that Cowboys use Micah Parsons because he has that versatility. He played inside linebacker. He played edge. Like I do think in that as that 3-4 outside linebacker, I think that's a little better for him than that 4-3 DN he did at Penn State. So we'll see. Yeah, I agree. The trade up, they didn't give up much, which is good. I'm curious. So I'm gonna be a little different. I do think D tackle in the third round, but I also wouldn't be surprised or upset if they went running back there, because I think there's gonna be some good ones, and there may be a run on running backs in the second round. So I think that wouldn't be a bad one. See, O-line, like I get the trenches, but I don't know if I want to take another third round O-lineman at this point. You know what I mean? Like with what we have, who we have coming back, and all that. Maybe we get somebody later. That's just my thoughts. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, and to be honest, I think they will go offense, and I think they will go running back at 65. It's not my preference, but again, I'm not against it. Like you said, there's depth there. There's some guys, and I think I'd like a guy that actually would be RB1 and use Tracy more versatility and not trying to run him 20 carries a game. And I would definitely.
What do you think will be there, guys?
Interior.
What do you think will be there?
I mean, for running back, I don't be surprised if they go with Caleb Johnson because
if he's there, I think he's the pick.
Right, because with Betts as the new running backs coach, and it just makes a lot of sense. I do think he's a great compliment to Tyrone Tracy. I mean, much as it pains me to say too, Judkins later on, if they go running back in the fourth round, would be a good one too. I don't like talking up Ohio State players. So
you and me both, brother. We were on that same page.
Yeah. So, but a D tackle, who are you thinking, Ray? Who are you thinking for D tackle in the third round if they go there?
Man, I like Alfred Collins. I'm not as high on Darius Alexander, but at 65, I think that's good value for him. I think that's a fair place for him, but the size of Alfred Collins, just as a run stopper, I think allows you to do more versatile things with Abdul Carter and KT and Burns. So those are the two guys that I have on my list. Is like I think they could be there at 65 realistically, and if they are, that's who I would want. But I think if Caleb Johnson is there, I think Joe Shane's turning that card in and getting Caleb Johnson.
Yeah, I would not be surprised with that. I'm curious also to see, if Alexander's there. Like I know he dominated the Senior Bowl, which he stood out a lot there. I just think the other guy is from Arkansas. Is it Landon? Who's the? There's so many like Donovan Jackson, Landon Johnson, but the DN from Arkansas I think would be another good one too.
Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson, right?
Landon Jackson.
Okay. There's just too many. We got Donovan Jackson, Landon Jackson, but that's another guy that could be a possibility, later on too. I think as an edge, I just don't know. Like I love Collins. I'm a Texas guy, so I love Collins. Right? That'd be a great one.
Albert Collins would be a really great pick at 65.
Yeah. You're just not going to get much pass rush. Yeah. You just won't get much pass rush from him. That's the only thing, which when you get it from everybody else.
Run. Yeah. Just let him cover two gaps and stop the run. That's all I care.
Yeah.
Yep. Push the pocket and let the other guys eat.
Yeah. See, I'm old school. I really would like to see the Giants go back to a traditional 3-4. And you get, I know Dex lines up in the nose predominantly, but I would like to see traditional DNs, on the outside there. But we'll see if they do it. So I don't know. All right. So you're thinking, what's your prediction, Ray? Who's your prediction at pick 65?
If Caleb Johnson's there, it's him. I think a dark horse might be Membo, however you say his name. Only because I think he's a guard with tackle flexibility.
Well, he went to the
Marcus. No, he's talking about Marcus Bowe from Purdue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The M is silent. It's Marcus Bowe from Purdue.
Oh, it is Bowe. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, definitely a guard. I agree, Coach. They'll probably move him to guard at the pro level.
See, that's what you got. You got Embo, you got Membo, Mo. You got too many guys that are close to.
There's a lot of real names that are like right around the same.
And you got Cam Scatterbo. Everybody.
Yeah. Right. you got a lot of things going on here. So, and then what do you think they're going to do in like the with their later picks after the third round? What's your guess there?
I think we're going to end up. I think there's gonna be another receiver somewhere on the board. I mean, that's the other dark horse I'd say is like a guy like Trey Harris. The connection with Dart there at Ole Miss. He's a big body X type receiver that allows neighbors to move inside more, which I think will one help our quarterback room altogether, but also allow Darius Slayton to have a little bit more flexibility as well, because I think that's important for him. But there's a lot of there's not like round one like top heavy talent, but there's a lot of guys that can start in the NFL that we're gonna see between now and like pick 90 to 100. So depending on I know you don't like him, Sean, but Pat Leonard, we were talking to Pat Leonard the other day, and he said he thought that the Giants were going to go really offensive heavy early in the draft.
Yeah.
And that weapon, don't be surprised if there's some weapons. And I've seen us kind of connected to Arroyo, the tight end from Miami, which is surprising.
Yeah.
But I like Arroyo, but I'm like, let's not go tight end again. Like, let's.
Yeah. So there's an interesting name I saw floating around too by some people, and it makes sense because he's tied in with Malik and with Jackson Dart. Trey Harris could be an option there too, because he was Malik's quarterback in high school, Dart's receiver. So that wouldn't be a bad one later on. I like the idea. I like what Denver did when they brought in Nix's receiver in college. So that could be a guy. I think you have to go receiver at some point. I know they brought back Slayton, but I do think you need another receiver to bring in here.
Well, you're looking if we go a running back or D line at 65, the next pick is 105. I don't think Trey Harris will be there at 105. Do you?
No, I think they'd have to take him at 65 to get him.
Yeah.
Or trade up somehow, which I don't want to do.
No,
not another trade up. What about the kid?
No.
What about Savion Williams out of TCU, the guy who's big body kid, 6'4", 225, plays some Wildcat with them, ran the ball as a running back in the Wildcat, and can play, wide receiver at 105. You think that would be a fit or no?
Well, they have him for a 30 visit, but what do you think, Ray?
I haven't done much review on him, so I'm not really sure. I've heard good things. I've seen that he was connected to us at one point with the 30 visit, probably why, but I don't know too much about him.
Yeah, he's kind of like he got the Cordarrelle Patterson comp.
Right.
Because we did him on, I covered him on the draft show, or we covered him too, but it'll be interesting because he's a little bit Debo, but a little bit Cordarrelle. So with that, he's raw, but he's fast. Again, I don't. Dart was a 30 visit, right? Was Dart a 30 visit?
I would think he would be. Don't you think?
I thought he was because again, I want to keep track. They tend to go with a lot of their 30 visits. So Carter was a 30. I think Dart was, or was he not? He might not have been. Maybe they didn't have him as a 30 to keep it hidden. They were interested in him. So
where did Coach Ray go?
I don't know. He might have been at work, so something may have come up. But you think they got to go offense heavy. I mean, once you get your D tackle, I mean, you would think. Although, again, the biggest issue they thought was the quarterback last year. So, maybe, get a running back. If you add some weapons, add a running back. My guess would be you add a running back, and then maybe you add a wide receiver. I don't know if they'll go Trent. I don't know if they'll go O-line. I don't know if they will. I mean, it's not.
And listen, Nick, they could go later O-line. I can tell you right now. 65. Let's assume Khalid Johnson's there.
Yep.
All right, so they take him, offensive weapon. at 105, if you still want to go offense, Sean, you could do that because I got to tell you, defensive tackle, you could get somebody at 154, or if they want to trade up,
Maybe
at 130ish, they could get a kid. There's a kid out of Indiana, CJ West, who's kind of like remember Curtis
I'm
McGriff.
gonna bring in Joe here too, Truth, while you're talking about this.
Okay,
I'm gonna bring
I
in
bring
Joe
him in.
while we're talking offense there.
What's up, fellas?
Joey D, how we
How
doing?
are you? How you doing?
What's going on?
Long time no talk.
I know, right? Welcome. Good,
Oh, man,
good to have
thanks
you
for
on.
having me on. I appreciate it. Sorry, I was a few minutes late. I apologize.
No, you're good, man. It just allowed Truth to talk a little bit more. So
Yeah,
it worked
yeah,
out
go
well.
ahead, Truth. Don't let me stop you. Go ahead.
No. We were just throwing around players like at 65. They're only picked for today.
Yep.
Where do you want to go? Do you want to focus on the D line? Do you want to maybe go to offense and get another weapon if someone like a Khalid Johnson falls to 65, which I don't know if you will?
Sure. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think offense is where we go. I don't know. I'm always thinking you can't have enough O-line help, but I don't know who's available if anybody's worth it at 65. I mean, you guys definitely know way better than I do, but I heard you guys talking a little bit about running back. I could definitely see them getting a running back at some point. I don't know if we did enough on the O-line this offseason. I don't know. I think there were so many guys out there that we didn't get. I don't know if it was just financial reasons but I just think if we don't protect the QB or the whole offense it's gonna sputter. So I don't know if we did enough. Defense I think did a good job. Holland, Adebo, getting Carter. I'm excited for the defense.
Yeah, you like day one, Joe?
Yeah, I think they had a plan. They executed it. It seems like they got everybody they wanted. I know there's been a debate on between Sanders and Dart. But I mean, you get to ask 100 people, 50 are gonna love one, 50 will love the other. So, but we need a QB. I'm sure there's pros and cons with all these guys. So,
yeah.
But, you guys think getting Dart buys Shane and Dable in another year or two at least? You think, or?
I think they had more time than people realize. I don't think they're on the hot seat like people say they are. I think the fact that they had to have our previous quarterback for as long as they did bought them time. Like Mars, like, okay, listen, you did what you had to do. We tried, and now you got your guy, and I'm going to reward you.
Yeah, I think you got to give them time to at least attempt to develop. Get a year or two. So and then you move on if it's just not working out. So
the
other thing I'd like to see too is receiver. I think we need to take pressure off Neighbors. We don't have that guy, that number 2. Slayton. I like Slayton, but he's not a 2. 3, 4, maybe at best.
Who do you like, Joe? Anybody?
I don't know enough to really form an opinion. I'll be straight up with you, but I don't. Is there anybody out there that can take the pressure off? Like he's that guy who can take pressure off Neighbors, from getting double teamed and stuff. I mean, you guys tell me. Is there?
Yeah, I mean, there's kids out there. Kid from Iowa State's out there. Okay. I don't know who'll be there at 65. If you want to go wide receiver at 65, Trey Harris, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if he can be there. What do you think, Shawnee?
If Harris could be there at 65, Besh could be there at 65. That's a guy that could be really good number 2. He's a good possession type.
TCU guy?
Yeah. I mean, Trey Harris makes sense. Like I said, he's got the connection. He was Malik's high school quarterback. He was, played with Dart. I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but again, you could get it depends on the run. Like, so last night you could see, like, you knew that the linebackers and the D line were going to make a run, and that's what happened, right? There was like 6, 7 in a row, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So you're going to see what's going to go on here, and I think Shane will play the board. Like, he pays attention. He'll see what the run's happening. So, like, if there's a run on whatever position, I believe they're going to go running back in the 3rd or 4th round. You brought in 5 or 6 running backs. Like, you got to go somewhere early. I don't think they're going to take one in the 5th.
65 or 105. So that's what we're talking here. 65
I think,
or 105.
Yeah, one of those two. I think they would go running back. Is my
you
guess.
think there's a like I thought Tracy did a great job last year. I considering what he had the line he was behind. But you think there's there's a need for running back? You think with the Giants?
I think so. I mean, they brought back Singletary, so
Right.
maybe I don't think it is. But I think you need a good complement to Tracy because Singletary and Tracy are very similar. Like I think you need a guy that's a bigger back, that's a power back, to kind of offset those guys. So to me, yes. Is it a pressing need? No. But if you can get one of the this draft is loaded with running backs, so if you can get a really good one, I think it makes sense.
You think there'll be guys available at you can get somebody quality in the 4th round, 5th round? You think, or you need to grab them at 3, with the 3rd round pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think Judkins should probably be in their 4th round. Truth, would you agree with that?
I don't know, man.
I
don't know. I think once Henderson goes, I think Joker may not be too far behind. That kid can play.
I mean, you got Ali Gordon maybe in the 4th round at 105. He might not, right? You got, even Scatterbury at the 4th round.
Scatterbury, I see Scatterbury, top 105 player. Yeah. I see he's got to be within 100.
But again, the Giants may not think that, like you said, they may not think we need one.
Right. Now, let me ask you, so with that trade last night, correct me if I'm wrong, give me honesty. I thought, didn't we have 3 3rd-round picks this year?
We had 2.
We had 2, 65 and 99.
Okay, I knew we had a compensation pick. I thought we had another one for some reason. Okay, all right.
That's the one we traded away was that comp pick.
Yep, okay.
We have 105, which is close to 99, just starting the 4th round. That's probably what it might have.
Let me ask you guys something else, too. I was kind of talking about this today. So let's say we don't address receiver in the draft tonight and, tomorrow. You see them going out and getting anybody else off the free agent market? I know there's some big names I don't know, man's a pipe dream. Like a Cooper or a Keenan Allen or something that could really make an impact. I mean, those guys are still there. I don't know if it's just they're not getting what they
got the UDFA.
Right.
Yeah, they got the UDFA right after the draft.
Right.
You're going to see some pretty good, talented players from that. So maybe you guys might see who knows? You might see a wide receiver or running back during that phase.
Right.
I don't see him bringing in an old vet like that.
Okay.
Not with where they're constructed. I don't see because they brought in a couple vets receivers that can play special teams, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't see it, but who knows? I could be wrong.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I threw it out there, and I don't see it either. I doubt they'll do it, but and who knows what they want, money wise. So. But.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. To spend it.
What's their cap space, Shawnee, right now? Do you know?
I don't. Last I knew, they didn't have a lot. So, but they're gonna restructure whatever.
I was saying, and Shane's usually pretty decent with freeing up money somehow. So
yeah,
that's the good thing with football. You can manipulate the cap a bit. So unlike the other sports. So, but I thought I was excited. I thought we had a good draft. So I was definitely surprised to see Sanders not get drafted in the 1st round.
I'm shocked. I'm still shocked. And they didn't go to Pittsburgh either. So
that's what I thought he was. Everybody thought he was going there. I was shocked.
That's what I thought too. That's what I absolutely thought too.
Then I started hearing a lot about Milroe.
Joe, do you think Cleveland takes him at 33?
I think so. I think he's going to Cleveland because don't they have 3 picks in the first handful of picks in the 2nd round? Don't they have 2 or 3?
The word was they were trying to trade out.
33 and 36, right?
Yeah, the word was they were trying to trade out at 33. So
really?
I don't know.
You just got to see who in those. Does anybody else need a QB? I mean, I know Saints might could use a QB. Cleveland needs a QB.
Yep.
So maybe they can get him in that 36 pick then. So if they could trade out of that 33, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Cleveland's going to Cleveland. I don't know. I mean, listen, good pick with Mason Graham, but nobody knows what Cleveland's going to do. Whatever. Yeah. I can't figure them out. So Cole just said it's a little over 1 million, 1.1 million.
So he'll do some restructuring. Yeah.
So hey, Joe, we're going to bring in Tommy, so you guys are going to be in here together at the same time.
All right, cool.
Since he's in the back, so we're going to bring in Tommy Two Socks. What's up, Tommy?
Hey, what's going on?
How we going?
Yes, sir. Hey, it's a good day to be a Giants fan.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's a good day
So
to wear
tell
two
us
socks
about-
with one sock.
It's just a bartending nickname I had. They had to come up with a nickname. Everybody had one, so Tommy Two Socks it is.
Okay, nice.
And just
Tell us
stuck for
about day
years.
one, Tommy. How'd you feel?
Day one, I got a little nervous at first. Not gonna lie, I had a little bit of PTSD from the Daniel Jones draft when Josh Allen was just sitting there. And I looked at my wife. I'm like, if I swear this is Shador, I'm gonna be mad. Like, just get Abdul Carter and call it a day. Obviously they did, great pick, and then they trade back in, get Dart. I think it was awesome trade. They didn't give up too much. Pick 99 in next year's third, which we could essentially get back if Brandon B goes somewhere else next year to be a GM. So really, they didn't really give up much. So I'm not mad about that. And that fifth year option is going to be crucial. Especially with him having like his redshirt season and whatnot. Yeah, and then cap space. You're just going to have all that cap space for 5 years, not tied to a quarterback or anything like that. Yeah, they crushed it. Now it's going to be interesting with their third round pick, first pick. If another quarterback slides, they trade back, maybe get a fifth or a sixth. Jalen Hyatt, they're not in love with him. Do they trade him for a fifth or a sixth? Probably sixth or seventh. But I don't know. A lot of good moves. Feel pretty confident. Granted, do I think Super Bowl? No. Let's be real. But I think they're headed in the right direction for sure with Russ leading Jackson Dart for a whole season.
Yeah.
And don't forget, even with Mike Kafka, they could get a comp pick as well. If
True.
Kafka,
Didn't think about that.
You think they finally use Hyatt this year? They try to get him involved or what?
I hope so, man. I'm a Volunteers fan, and that was like my dream pick when he fell, him or Tillman. I went to the Browns, but maybe Russ has the secret because Daniel Jones wouldn't throw it deep to him. Tyrod did. Tommy tried. So maybe, who knows? But it'll be interesting for sure. Maybe they go receiver in the draft too, like Harris, Malik's quarterback. Dart's receiver. Like build that chemistry up in the locker room while you can. Could be a lot of good things coming.
Yeah, that name's coming up a lot tonight. I think also Russell Wilson throws a good deep ball. He throws a more catchable deep ball, and that could help Hyatt. And I think Wilson could teach him something. Like, unlike our previous quarterback, I don't think he could teach the receivers things. Russell Wilson can teach the receiver some things. So I think it's going to improve that as well. That's my kind of other take with that as well. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully Andrew Thomas stays healthy too, because we had a pretty solid line when he was healthy. Then it all started to crumble when he went out. So really hoping they can snag a guard in the third or the fifth round. Trey Smith was a fifth round pick. You never know. There's a guy from Sacramento State, I think Slater is his name.
Okay.
Pretty solid. Could use some help with footwork, but at the end of the day, GV, I don't know his initials, Van Roten, he can teach him.
Yeah.
Luminor is getting up on his last year of his contract, I think. Maybe get a swing tackle, something like that. Somewhere they don't have to be thrust in like Evan Neal was. Like, who knows? Maybe he's a decent guard. We don't know. Really highly rated in the run blocking. So, a lot of good things can happen, but it just comes down
gotta
to
get younger, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Joey D, what do you think about Neal to guard? What do you think?
Listen, at this point, I'll try anything, man. Now, this dude's running out of time. I mean, can it hurt? Can it be any worse than what he's been doing? So I don't know. I mean, I'm for it.
If he can stay healthy, I mean, he was improved last year. I know there's a couple clips out there of the bad video against Dallas and everything, but he was improved. He was healthy, had a better coach. So I think guard could be good for him. I also think you got to extend Illuminor. Like, that's a guy you want to stay in the Giants, right? And he's got another few years. So I think we're better off at O-line, and the guys we added, I think we're better depth than what we had last year. What I would like to see, if Neal can do well at guard, I would like to move GVR over to center so he can compete with JMS to make him better. Because GVR did well at center when he got moved, right? You got a couple swing tackle. If you get a swing tackle, that's fine.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, if Thomas doesn't get hurt, you can move somebody over or whatever else. So I do think the pickups they got this offseason were good from line. And Kubis, a guard is another guy. Keep an eye out. Like, another North Dakota State guy, right? So I think they're a little better there. But all right, Joe, I know we got a couple minutes left of you here, but give me what do you think about the season? How we feeling? What's our thoughts? Russell Wilson, all that, like what we've added so far. What do you think they're going to do?
I think our team is. On paper anyway, I think is much improved than last year. I mean, Just quarterback alone. I mean, we went from going into it with Jones, Locke, and DeVito to Russell Wilson, Winston, now Dart. So I think that right there is huge. And defense like I said, between the cornerback, with Debo, Holland, Carter. I mean, even defense I think is much improved. And it just helps. Like both sides of the ball. We just too many injuries every year. We just gotta stay healthy. And
Yep.
and the offense has got to stay on the field. Defense, we were good those first 5 or 6 weeks. We were leading the league in sack, but when the offense goes 3 and out all the time, I mean, defense can't sustain that. So
Yeah. No, agreed.
We control the ball a little more and give the defense rest, and I think we'll be all right. So
that's a great point, Joe. That's the thing that gets overlooked a lot is that offense did not help out our defense at all, and they were leading the league in sacks. They did some good things. Were they perfect? No, but they were better than people realized. And
yeah,
and the injuries happened, and then it was like, okay, well, we're losing anyway, so it doesn't really matter, right?
I think by that time, I think everybody just kind of, I hate to say it, probably just gave up, man. I think it was just, they threw in a towel, between injuries and just, so I agree there. So
yeah.
But I think we're much improved. Like I said, on paper anyway, I think we're a lot better than last year. So
yeah, good. I agree. Well, let's hope to a good season. Joey D, man, we appreciate you. Always fun coming on, man. Always good to see you. So we appreciate you, man. And let's have a good draft tonight too, man.
Yeah, man. Good luck, man.
Yep.
All right.
Take care, Joe.
Take care.
All right. So since Craig is not on tonight, and I'm in the chair.
It's good to be the king.
I am the king tonight. So yes. Tommy, did you see were you watching with the intros? Did you catch the intros we did? What do you think of the intros?
I did not know. I had to hop off. I just hopped on not too long ago. How it goes working. But
okay. Well, let me show you Truth.
I tune in a lot with you guys. So.
Okay. All right. Well, this is
You can't handle the truth.
And then where's mine? Where'd mine go? Okay.
Miss the fireworks. There won't be any fireworks. And here we go.
All right. What's your impression? You like them intros for Truth and I?
I like it.
All right. Cool. So I know we kind of talked a little bit, but your prediction, what do you think the Giants do with their, pick 65 tonight?
65. I don't know. I feel like they go one of two ways. I prefer defensive tackle myself. I think Farmer from Florida State should be there. A guy I looked at a few times. He's got a good motor on him, things like that. Be a good complement to Dex. And now the superior pass rush that we have, especially Kayvon getting his 5th year picked up yesterday. I would love that, or a guard. Can't go wrong. Can't have enough. Like we already talked about briefly already. Definitely offensive line last year decimated us. So can't go wrong with another guard. I mean, I guess you can. We've proven that with the Zudu and all that. But hopefully we get somebody a little bit better. Maybe.
Well, I think we have a coach now that can develop them too. Oh, you said Peebles, Virginia?
What's that? I'm sorry. No, Millam, I think, the guard from West Virginia.
Oh, the guard from West Virginia.
He might fall.
Okay. Yeah. I'm hesitant to take a guard. I'm hesitant to take an O-line in the 3rd round. I really am. Especially when you look at what else, like a D tackle. What do you think about running back in the 3rd round?
I wouldn't hate it. It would be a little bit of a head scratcher. I think Tracy did well enough to prove that he could be a 1A, 1B. I don't think Singletary is the guy. He might be a cap casualty during the offseason just because, I think they're giving him like $4 or $5 million right now. Yeah. But if they had like one of them, who is it? One of the Ohio State running backs still there, be open to it for sure. Scatabo has been a name that's been thrown around a lot. I've seen when we had pick 99. So it depends. I wouldn't hate it. Definitely doesn't hurt to have 2 good running backs. But I think defensive tackle would definitely be something, especially with Jaden Daniels, Saquon on the other side. Who knows what Dallas is going to look like. Just get that defense to be scary. If we can score 16 points to win a game, then that's cool. Obviously, we want more than that, but You can't have both sides being bad, you know?
No, you can't. And that defense is good. I keep saying this, but there's just something that says Caleb Johnson may be the pick at 65. Put him back with his college coach.
I hope he's still there. I love
Really
that
good,
pick.
really good compliment. He might not. He'll probably go in the second round, but if he is, you never know. Running backs drop, so it's gonna be interesting if there's a run on running backs here in the second round. There was one that went last night in the first round, just Hampton, right?
No, Hampton and Genty.
Oh, it's Genty. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. I meant I meant other guys aside from Genty, but you're right.
Yeah.
Harvey from UCF would be interesting. He's like a bigger back, almost not as big as Brandon Jacobs was, but bigger. He could complement well. You know, give that 1-2 punch like we had with Ahmad
he is big
Bradshaw,
guy?
Jacobs, even Derek Ward. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that big. Okay.
Yeah. I think, and I said this earlier, I think Shane's going to play the board. He's going to pay attention to what the board does. So if there's a run on a certain position, he'll get that position if it's a position need. Like if there's a run at D tackles, he'll hop in there and get it, so he doesn't miss out. I do think there's enough D tackles that even in the fourth round, you can get a really good one that can come in and be a day one starter. Like that with his class, DT and running back are the two depths. So whichever way you go, if you go DT third, running back in the fourth, or vice versa, I think you're in good shape there. Listen, I know
he was reading the draft board.
Oh, go ahead, Tommy.
Oh, good. I was saying he was reading the draft board yesterday from what I was reading today. Like maybe the Rams did want Dart, and he hopped right in front of him. You know, he didn't overpay to get Dart, and that's huge. So
that's what they said.
I know the word out there was Cleveland wanted them, New Orleans was interested, and Dart did spend. And listen, I pay attention to words. He spent considerable amount of time with McVay, and Dart spent a considerable amount of time with Daboll. And then you trade out right after Dart's taken. I mean, you can kind of connect the dots there, right? I know they made a great offer, but I don't think it's a coincidence, right? Like some things just aren't a coincidence. So I think that's what it was. I think it's what it was. And I do think he does read the board well. The other thing I like is Shane doesn't get fleeced in trades. Like he is Trader Joe. Like he's really good at trades, right? Even giving him a third rounder for Waller wasn't bad. It was the third rounder, right? Like he took a shot and it didn't work out, and it was a third rounder. It didn't really hurt us. So
not at all.
I think that's good. What I like, Tommy, give me your thoughts on some of the additions with the coaching staff, because we talking about draft, but these guys got to be developed. So what are your thoughts on the two new secondary coaches, Liddell Betts coming in? What's your thoughts on there?
I like it. I think Liddell Betts is interesting for sure. Like growing up, I knew he was on the Redskins for a long time, or Commanders now. Serviceable back. I believe he went to Iowa too. I might be wrong on that, but maybe that could be a Johnson connection for the running back tonight. So I like that a lot. I think he could definitely he can help Tyrone Tracy too. As far as secondary goes, anything will go a long way in my opinion. I think we got some pretty solid guys. Especially with a young crew back there. With even though Holland's a little bit more experienced, but hey, that young secondary is going to be what saves us if the pass rush doesn't get there. Banks has the opportunity to really step it up, or he might be on his way out. Sad as that is, it's true. But I think they had the right people in place. I think there's not going to be any of those secret Wink Martindale meetings like there were a couple years ago.
No.
But yeah, I think that it's good. And I think someone that gets overlooked a little bit is Tim Brown. I think being able to, he played both sides when he played for the Patriots. Being as a coach, he can definitely help corners and receivers like with their routes or how to cover routes, things like that. So could be an unsung hero too.
Yeah, that's a good one. I do like bringing Marcon Manuel and then the guy from Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns. I think it's good because whatever Henderson was teaching, he didn't have the DBs turning their heads around, and that drove me crazy for the entire time he was here. So we need somebody that can turn these guys around, have their heads look around. But you're right. I mean, the other thing where Howland, I think, is going to make an impact, and Adebo too, Howland's going to make an impact with Tips being college teammates. I think that's a good connection there. And with Adebo and Bobby O, I think that's another good one there. But those guys are going to help that secondary for sure, without a doubt there. So, hey, we're gonna bring on Neil and have you guys for a couple minutes together here. So Neil believes, or Mr. Photographer, movie guy as well. So let's bring him on.
What's going on? How are you gentlemen doing today?
Good, Neil. How you doing, man?
Oh man, fantastic! I feel honored to be a part of this with you guys. So it's a great day. I felt the draft last night was awesome, so I'm excited.
Awesome, man. Well, we're glad to have you on. I know you and I talk a lot on Twitter. Like I said, you got some great photos. We talk movies as well, so you're well rounded. So
Well, I try to be, and hopefully Jackson Dart is well rounded on the field for us. I mean, I'm really hoping that he turns out to be our franchise quarterback.
that was a nice segue
Yeah.
there, Neil. All right.
Now give us your take from last night.
Yeah.
Pick by the Giants. What were you feeling?
Right. So Abdul Carter, I was kind of nervous because you just never know. I mean, there a lot of the rumors going around, the different mock drafts, the insiders.
Yeah.
So you just never know. Like Shawn, you said, like you just don't know what's going to happen. So when it was Abdul Carter, I was like, all right, I let out a sigh of relief. But it's like excited about that pass rush. The NASCAR defense. I mean that I miss that. That was just like some great times, and I think we're going to head towards that direction soon. And then I was shocked when Jackson Dart got drafted. When we traded up and it was Jackson Dart, I was honestly shocked because first I thought it was Shador, and then they did some interesting camera work with ESPN because I was like, wait a minute, was he selected?
Yeah.
Was he not? And then all of a sudden I see Jackson Dart and his family celebrating. I'm like, he's super excited to be here, and I'm ready to go. Let's go. Like because and then Eli obviously gave his stamp of approval. I think even beforehand for him. So it sounds like we're in a good place.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I agree. Listen, as we know, we're Giants fans. It's defense. I'm back to the '80s. Truth is back to the '80s. Like that's what we grew up. We're like, I got the Taylor. You guys can't see it tonight, but if you turn in a lot, I got the Taylor jersey, the back Taylor stuff. So it was hard not to want Abdul Carter. As much as I was a big Shador fan, it was hard not to want Abdul Carter. Like I was torn. I was like, oh man, a linebacker again, right? And a guy that can be a difference maker. So I agree. And I think the thing that stood out to me the most is that regardless of what any of us think, is that Dable wanted Jackson Dart. When you watched his reaction, when you saw, even like today, when he showed up in the building and you saw how Dable was, like, this is who they wanted. Shane mentioned they went through all the tests and he did well against whatever, because we know Dable puts these guys through harder than any other coach does out there with his stuff. So if that's who they wanted, then you got to be excited for it because they got their guy, right? So that was my feeling after last night. I wanted Shador, but we got Carter and we got Dart, who this coaching staff wanted. And I like Dart. I just think he's got to work on his footwork. He's got to work on his decision making, right? Like he makes some bad decisions at times, but I think they can coach him out of him. And the fact that he's going to sit for the entire year, I think is real good, real good. So Tommy, before you head out of here, we let you go, man. Tell me what you think about. Don't give a prediction or anything, but how do you think about the team this year? Any kind of closing few thoughts about where the Giants are right now and kind of what you see for the future?
Yeah, I mean, on paper, definitely a big improvement from last year. I think the offseason was good for them. Didn't break the bank, but got needs and quality players in those needs for sure. Definitely think defense is going to be our strength. Offense will come along as Russ starts to warm up, and then who knows what could happen. Maybe a squeak into the wild card or something like that. Who knows? But as long as we can split every division series at least, I'm a happy guy.
Yeah, I agree. And listen, that's why the Carter pick made sense too, because we're going against Dak Prescott, Jaden Daniels, and Jalen Hurts, 6 times in the year.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Well, Tommy, we appreciate it. It's awesome having you guys on and being part of this with us. So we appreciate you guys supporting us, and go Giants, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Later, man.
See ya.
Take care, Tommy.
Yeah, I love the background, man. I love the background.
Thank you. I was just thinking about when we were watching the Super Bowl, just like how jealous I was of the Eagles pass rush. And I was like, man, we need that. And so it feels so good we can finally get. We're taking one of their fans, and now he's going to play for us. So that's going to be great.
Yeah, it is. And I think the free agent signing that's going to go underrated is Colston that we got from the Cowboys. I think that guy's going to do some things, and he's also going to help that pass rush, on that D line. So I agree. They're going to get after it. I mean, they got after it last year. They were leading the league in sacks at one point. So now you add Abdul Carter, you can put them all over the place. I think it's great. What do you think they're going to do here tonight, Neil? What do you want them to do with the 65th pick?
That's a tough one because, part of me wanted like, well, if we hadn't and it didn't happen, obviously Jackson Dart, and let's say like part of me wanted, I like Tyler Warren, but obviously that wasn't going to be possible, to get him like as a tight end on our team. But I really want to see address like wide receiver, and I think I don't know what's going on with Hyatt. I'm not sure what the plan is. And has he reached his potential or whatever potential? What do you think that is? But is he limited? So I really think that we need to upgrade that position. Particularly, that's what I want to see. But on the other end of it, obviously, offensive line too. And we got too much flack for our offensive line last year, and it was just kind of a repeated narrative of our O-line was garbage or whatever, and it wasn't. Right. And you called that out too. I have seen that plenty of times. So a lot of the repeated stuff, the flack we even got about Jackson Dart too, we shouldn't have gotten, I think, because Shedeur Sanders, sorry, because a lot of other teams passed on him too. So the next pick, it's kind of I'm split on that between like going like let's say offense and then or how can we get like maybe a like safety or even so what do you guys think there? I mean, where do you think is the pressing need because you guys are locked in?
Well, Truth and I think are aligned. I think we think like D tackle at 65 would make a lot of sense. We could both see running back potentially there, depending on who's there. So I think that it's hard, because when you look at the team last year, they were the 32nd ranked offense, but you knew a lot of that was due to one position is really what it came down to. Yeah. So you've upgraded that position. So how much upgrading do you really need to do on the offensive side? I agree. I think another receiver makes sense. Does Hyatt get unlocked? He was going to be a guy that was going to take longer to develop than anybody else. Like we knew that, or most people should have known that. So is this a year that it brings him, maybe Russell Wilson can bring some things out of him and utilize his strengths. So maybe year 3, this is the year. I would like to see another receiver because, again, Slayton's back, but I still think you need somebody, alongside him or to replace him in a couple of years or whatever it is too. Nothing against Slayton, not hating on him, but he is what he is, right? So it'll be curious to see. But yeah, I think D tackle, running back, and then the surprise will be if they went wide receiver at 65,
which would be early too. You're right. I mean, but absolutely. And I was thinking of I know Russell Wilson. He shouted out some of the players there, like Theo Johnson. I think he was working out with him too. So he's someone that I'm excited about as well. I mean, just in general, the overall feeling I think has changed with the team because we had a rough year. We did, and I think we all deserve this kind of reprieve almost from everything that we went through, from the planes to everything else that happened. It's almost like it's just like a new season, a new day. So obviously we have to stick the landing with the rest of the draft, but as of right now, I'm just really ecstatic, and I'm not going to get my season tickets back just yet. So,
Neil, I think it's safe to say that they're in a little bit better position roster-wise right now than they were last year to start the season at the draft, right?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, last year I was on with you guys, and it was an honor then too. I mean, Neighbors was a great pick, but then I had that feeling. It's like, I don't know if we're where we need to be to take out these teams in our division because we're not playing that well against them anyway. So, but I think that we can be competitive. I really think we can make it interesting. And optimistic part of me says that maybe we could possibly get 8 to 9 wins. Maybe. Okay.
Now, are you optimistic because? Yeah, are you optimistic because of the addition of Russell Wilson, Carter, or both?
I think mostly Carter, but then I think Russell Wilson will be. I mean, he's obviously an upgrade from Drew Lock, unless Drew Lock was playing against the Colts. But he's obviously that was a joke, but
that was good.
He obviously is an upgrade. The only thing, and everything works itself out. Even though that happened, who's to say? Even if Cam Ward came here, he would be what everyone expects him to be. So I think everything is going to work itself out with our team, with the franchise in general. And maybe I'm going over history, but listen, I mean, how many other franchises in Strahan said that? You make a Super Bowl once every decade. How other teams can say that? And the hard times we've gone through, we've been through it through the 90s into the early 2000s. That felt like forever growing up. But
Yes.
the Danny Cannell, Dave Brown, all those years, Ken Graham.
Oh.
I mean, so things are Russell Wilson. I mean, yeah, he's definitely an upgrade from what we saw last year.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I had to suffer through this Scott Bruner's first year, Barcel's first year. That was rough. And then with the Ray Handley, like, man, there's so many things I had to go through. Ray Handley for those 2 years, destroying that team and that talent. Listen, when things go out about the worst Giants coach in history, I know people say Joe Judge. No, it is Ray Handley, hands down, because that man was gifted a Super Bowl team. Yeah.
And Sean, make it even worse. Belichick left because of that kind of. They didn't
yeah.
keep Belichick.
He should have been given that job. It should have been his to have.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, say what you want. Ray Handley by far was the worst Giants coach ever. So, yeah, you're right, Neil. We deserve this, man. We deserve some excitement again.
Yeah. The schedule's coming out like in 2 weeks or left, but I mean, we've seen the opponents that are coming up. I mean, it's not going to be easy.
No.
But, I mean, wouldn't have it any other way, you know?
No, and 22 didn't look like an easy schedule either. That looked tough when it first came out. So you never know. You really don't. I just think, like, I feel, and Neil, you can tell me without, like, you know, or without me kind of put, I just feel like with now a new quarterback room, there's been a big cloud lifted over everybody. Is that fair to say?
It's definitely fair to say. There was a cloud that was there, and it was just, you know, obviously a lot of fighting over Daniel Jones. And,
Yeah.
I mean, he handled himself very well throughout it all. He was a professional. And, you know, I feel bad, you know, thinking about it, because I gave him a hard time. I gave him a really hard time on Twitter and criticized him. But at the end of the day, you know, that is what it is. It's in the past. And, you know, we'll wish him, you know, all the best to him in his future. But now we could turn the page and move forward. It's kind of like a relief because, I mean, will we still find something to fight about, Giants fans? Maybe.
Of course.
Yeah, really. Come on.
Now too, like that didn't change. Like you
That's
got
not a trick question, is it?
Yeah, you got people now that still aren't happy with the draft last night. So
yeah, I mean, we could win the Super Bowl next year, and then still it'll be something. Something.
It was a fluke.
Yeah, it was a fluke. They need to get fired.
Yeah.
That'd be wild, but man, I wish that would happen. That'd be amazing if we could go on a run. But it just makes me appreciate the past years, like definitely.
Yes.
I mean, not to go the whole like be long-winded here, but my first Super Bowl was Super Bowl 25, so that was the first Super Bowl, my first Super Bowl memory, and so I kind of felt like I was born into like watching them and the expectation of them being great. Yeah, and then it fell off a cliff for some time period, and then all of a sudden, and I really hope that they don't unretire Sims' jersey, because I remember that night when he got his jersey retired and threw it to LT. That's one of my favorite memories ever. That game, I think we got blown out, but that memory itself was amazing.
Yeah, especially because LT had been drinking, so he caught a pass drunk, which was great. So speaking of Sims, let me get your impression of this. So and I'm not comparing by any stretch of imagination, but what I like about Dart is he's got that fire, he's got that passion, like he's uber competitive, which I think we have been lacking for a little bit. So I like that. He's got that Sims mentality a little bit, in my opinion, right? Like Sims was very fiery, he was competitive, he tried to fight Ronnie Lott. Remember, like Dart seems like that kind of guy. Like, what's your thoughts there?
Absolutely, that's a classic clip. I was just thinking that's awesome. With that
was a great moment, fellas.
Yeah.
That was the Mark Pavaro night, wasn't it? When he dragged he dragged 20 49ers down the field.
Monday night, yeah. So
yeah,
I mean, yeah. That's why. What are your thoughts, Neil?
I'm excited about that. That rivalry was just like unmatched back in the day. But with the Giants versus 49ers. But with Sims, I think Sims is my favorite quarterback. But, you know, and don't get me wrong, I love Eli Manning, but Phil Sims is my guy. And so that would be amazing to see, you know, Jackson Dart, just seeing how far he is, and then just seeing his interviews and how he carries himself. I think we had been lacking that a little bit. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I mean, Daniel Jones didn't let his personality show, I think, enough. He just kind of kept it by the book. Yeah. And there were sometimes he seemed like he overwhelmed because of a lot of the pressure, and it impacted him on the field. but I don't think that could get to Jackson Dart. I think he could really handle, can he handle the New York media? I think he can. And I think
Yep, I agree. And what I like is Dayball's fiery too. So I want to see more of a fiery Dayball as well. Like I want to see that. That's again Parcells era. That's how he was. I like that. Coughlin was fiery. So I want to see Dayball unleashed more this year. I think he was too subdued last year, and I get why. So we'll see how he is this year. But I like it. So and what I like about Dart too, and being a movie guy as you are. Like, so this is a cool tie-in with Carter and Dart. And by the way, Carter put out a text about our tweet about Dart. So he's excited about Dart too.
Yes.
But Carter's all about Darth Vader. And then Dart's eye black he does is for the scar of Anakin Skywalker. So we have Anakin and we have Darth Vader on the Giants right now, which I think is cool.
That's what we need. We need some of that. Like, I really want to have a team where if we're down, we are confident that we're coming back and we're going to win this game. That's what I miss. I don't think we've had that as often. Maybe against the Cardinals, that one game with Daniel Jones coming back, but we just kind of missed that. Like the teams are coming here and afraid of us, afraid of the fans. Like we have that home field advantage. Like we have like one of the best crowds ever. You guys, I don't know if you guys were there, but the NFC Championship game against the Vikings. That was like one of the most amazing Giants at Giant Stadium. What amazing crowds I've ever seen on TV. I could just only imagine being there in person. So like we can intimidate like the opponents.
Absolutely. I wasn't there, but watching on TV, it was crazy. And then even like when you saw the crowd at the 49ers with the 49ers game and then the Redskins game in the 86 season in the playoffs, like back-to-back games, that crowd was crazy. So you're right. And what Carter said was we're going to wreak havoc. So I think he's going to feed in, and I think the fans are going to feed into it too. Like that's why I also like the Carter pick. It has the fan base bought in again. Like they're going to get behind that guy. So I think it's good. Well, Neil, let me ask before we let you go here. I know you kind of said maybe 8 or 9 games, but tell me a little bit more again how you feel, what's coming up, and then tell me who you think. Give me your prediction of who they're going to go at 65.
Okay. This is 8 or 9 games. Don't hold me to it. Actually, we'll play this. You'll probably play this back. Like at the end of next season.
I am. We're gonna clip it.
So old takes exposed. Like
right, yeah.
but I think we're in for a great season. Finally, I mean, I think it's going to be. Obviously, we have to take it 1 week at a time. But finally, we're going to have an off season after today, or after this draft weekend, where we can finally take a deep breath and be optimistic about the future. So the next pick, I think you're right about D tackle. I think that's probably what we're going to do, and that makes sense. If you look at those other teams like Philly, they always have a lot of depth, and they always have they have endless guys who are throwing at people, especially like Mahomes. That was like an onslaught. And so I kind of miss having that intimidation where we could just completely make a team quit, like just from our defense. So I think that's where we'll go.
Okay.
And I can't wait to be at a game like week 1 and during the season. If you guys are there, like I'd love to see you guys there too, because you guys do a great thing. You guys have a great show, and all you guys are first class and just like really bring awesome content to Giants fans. So thank you guys.
We appreciate that. Yeah, we appreciate that, Neil. We appreciate you a lot. And I'm going to try. I know I was able to go to that Thursday night game last year. We'll see if I can get out to a game this season and kind of do some. So we appreciate you, Neil. And, man, we know we'll connect on Twitter again. So thanks for coming on, man. You're awesome.
Absolutely. It's an honor. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Go Giants.
Yes.
Take care. See ya.
All right. So Cleveland's on the clock. I'm a little delayed. I don't know if you see the pick or not. So mine's a little bit behind.
Not yet.
Okay.
Real quick, Shawn, do you think there's a chance that another quarterback gets picked before Sanders in this second round?
No.
Okay.
No. No. I mean, no. I couldn't see it.
Okay.
I couldn't see it. So,
it just came up. The pick is in. Does yours just come up too?
I think so. Yeah, I'm a little delayed because I'm watching it on a stream. So
So am I.
So yeah, it just came up now and said pick is in. I don't know
All
if it
right,
showed
so
it.
I'm a little ahead of you. Last night, Chris was like 20 seconds ahead of me, so he knew everything before I knew.
Oh yeah.
He looked like a wizard.
We got the brains coming on here. We got the guy that knows a lot of things. We got Mr. Sir Mark Thompson coming in. So let me bring him in without further ado. Sir Mark Thompson, how we doing?
What's up, Mark?
Hi guys, how you guys doing?
Good.
We're doing great.
Just in time, Mark. You're just in time.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see here as pick is in here.
Mark, I just told Shawn just to bust on him a little bit. I said, is there any chance that there'll be another quarterback taking ahead of Sanders? Is there a possibility?
Yes, I think it's a possibility.
Oh.
And I think the Browns about to pick. I think it's possible that they don't pick a quarterback either.
There might be. Maybe wait till next year, right?
Yeah, because that's why they got the first round 2026 pick. Who knows?
That's right. So let's see. Let's see.
Get rid of Watson. They might not do it because of Watson.
Yep. They got somebody else.
Oh yeah. See,
So
he's ahead.
If I'm ahead of you, I'll let you know, Shawn.
Well, Mark's ahead of us.
Oh my God! Oh my God! You're right, Mark. It's not a quarterback.
It's not a quarterback.
Carson Schwingsinger.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to go quarterback.
Wow.
I like this kid though. I like this kid.
Second round now?
Yeah, that's a little early. You're right, Shawn.
I think it's a little early.
Might go a little bit later.
Yeah, I thought they might. Yeah, I thought they might have gone. But no, who knows? I mean, they already went DT, I guess, so they may not have gone that way. But yeah.
I don't want to see anybody go DT for a while. I want the Giants to get. Hey, Mark. Mark,
yes,
who do you
sir.
want to see at 65? Who do you want to see at 65?
I definitely would like to get a DT. I mean, I'd like to get a DT. I think, look, giving up the 99 pick, right, which is not much to get Dart, to be honest with you.
No.
Give up the 99 pick. I think it puts you a little bit, so you may have to choose like between 65 and 105. You may have to decide that it's going to be two of DT, OT, not OT, but O-line and running back. And running back. You may have to choose two of those three, possibly, depending on who's the best player available. Huh?
You're on the same page, Mark. That's what we were saying. It's going to be. I think DT running back in those two picks.
Pick is in already for Houston, boys. The pick is in already.
I heard.
What are they going to get?
I heard somebody say that we're talking about wide receiver and stuff, but it didn't make any sense to me. I don't know why that would be because I didn't even know that would be the strength of the draft at that point in time either. For that matter.
For who? Yeah. For who? Wide receiver? For us?
For the Giants. For the Giants. Yeah.
65.
Yeah, between 65 and
yeah. Right. That'd be a surprise pick. That'd be a surprise.
Yeah, that'd be shocking. I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants actually went running back instead of DT. That wouldn't shock me.
It depends who's there, right, Mark? Johnny said that it depends who's there at 65.
Yes, it depends on. Yeah. I think the draft is set up well that they can go BPA. They can go BPA all along the way.
I think so too. The way their roster's set up, they absolutely can. Shane's going to read the board. He'll read the board. There's no doubt in my mind.
There's no doubt that there are two specific areas. Well, three. We just mentioned the three, but two more than one, I guess. I think DT and someone that's flexible to play 3-5 technique within there. I think we would like something like that. And the other thing would be.
I wonder if they're going to get a lineman here.
Well, we'll see.
They did lose 3 linemen, right?
Yeah, they did. They get a big body. They get a big body guy.
You're way ahead of us. All right, so just say who the pick is.
Imagine that. I'm in Barbados.
Oh boy!
I'm like ahead of you guys.
How's
that possible?
Jaden Higgins. Iowa State. Jaden Higgins.
Okay. Yeah, I like him. I like him.
That's a good pick for them.
Yeah.
That is a good pick for them. I like that too. So, Mark, how are you feeling about last night with the 2 picks?
Oh, I would have to say that I feel pretty good. I mean, I was not in favor of giving up picks to come back into the first round. I was not. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought it would cost too much.
Yeah.
And I thought they would have to get up above the Steelers. So therefore, now when I saw it dropping and I saw like 24 to Vikings, I was like, I wonder what's going to happen. Because I also saw the interview with Shane and Dable, and I was like, I think they're looking to get back into the first round. That's how it felt to me. And then they got it back into the first round, and it only really cost in 99 in the third round the next year. I was like, hey, that's worth it. If you really believe in the guy, that's worth it. I don't.
Real quick, guys. Seattle just traded out of 35.
Yes, they did. Who did trade out? Who did they trade?
Oh, they're not saying anything yet. Let me look.
Oh no, they traded in. You mean?
They traded in. Yeah, Seattle traded in.
Oh, they said traded in. Okay.
Yeah, traded in. Yeah, they traded in, and the pick is in already. They're moving fast. Yeah. So I thought, look,
you only get 5 minutes, right? You get 5 minutes today.
Yes, 5 minutes.
It goes quick. It goes quick.
And then some people don't wait for 5 minutes.
No, you don't.
Look, I mean, I
Who's
listen.
Who's it going to be, guys?
Which
side of the ball? Let's make it easy. Which side of the ball?
Oh, you mean
last night they went offensive tackle. Yeah.
It wouldn't. It's
Will Johnson's still on the board.
Yeah, I think it's going to be defense. I think it may be D line. That's what I think.
D line.
Yeah, I think possibly.
Darius Alexander.
It could be. Who did they pick earlier? They
got Gray Zabel.
Right,
in round one.
Right. They picked O-line, yeah. So I would say, let me see, I'm looking at their needs. I kind of have a note here.
Oh, see, I told you, the man with the
wide receiver, corner. They do need DBs for sure. Wide receiver, but I wouldn't be shocked if they go D-line. That's possible. Either that or corner. I mean, either that or corner. I mean, Will Johnson could be a candidate, but people seem to be worried about his injury.
I mean, if you're going to trade up
in the
second round, you think it's going to be a premium position. You would think.
Yeah, you would think so. I agree.
Yeah, you think right. If you're trading up, yep.
So you think it'd be a good wide receiver?
I don't.
Who would it be? That you're trading
I don't know.
For?
That's why.
Trey Harris, maybe.
Hold on. Luther Burden.
Luther Burden, maybe.
I can tell you when it comes up.
Yeah, you let us know. You let us know for sure, because my stream's acting up and I'm delayed as it is. Anyway, now I don't have the stream showing.
We'll see. We'll see.
So, yeah, but like your point, Mark, with the trade up, like when you look at what Atlanta had to give up to get back into the first round, they had to give up a first round next year.
Titans received a second round pick and a third round pick.
Titans loading up.
Yeah.
They need a lot of help on that roster, so they're loading up.
Yeah, they are definitely loading up.
Yeah,
they're definitely loading up
in this area.
But did you guys hear the interview with Jackson Dart? Any discussion, interviews with him? Did you have a chance to listen to him?
No, I didn't hear that. I did hear what Dable and Shane had to say, and then I saw the quick video clip when Dart showed up today. But what happened there?
No, it's just he had the interview with the reporters. He also had a little interview with Shawn. What's his name? Shawn O'Hara.
Okay.
He was really great with the reporters. He gave some really great questions. You know, you got the few reporters that try to ask you the gotcha questions and so forth. He was definitely on the ball with that. So I was impressed with his interview. Very impressed.
I know he gave a good answer when it came to they have a good plan in place for him, how they're going to develop him, and I thought that was really good too. So which was good. Well, Mark, hang on, we're gonna keep you on, but we're gonna bring on Pit Joe at the same time for
sure
here as well.
No problem.
Yeah, another minute, Sean.
All right, Fire Pit Joe, how we doing, man?
All right, guys. Guys, how you doing tonight?
What's up, Joe?
We're
How
doing
you
well.
doing?
I'm good,
We're
Joe.
doing well. How you doing, man?
Can you hear?
You're a little delayed. Your video is
Me?
delayed and your audio is delayed.
Did he freeze up?
Yeah, you froze on us, Joe.
Oh, you have to go and come back in, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you backstage. You might have to log out and log back in, Joe.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear what this pick
Or
is.
Joe, he was backstage for a while too.
Mm.
He came on real early in the.
Oh,
the
he did.
back.
Oh, he came. Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
he
like
was-
Yeah,
I'd ready
remember
rush back in here.
they did trade Metcalf. They did trade Metcalf, and they released
Rich-
Tyler Lockett.
They did.
Could be
And if
Luther Burden.
It could
Richard,
be. I mean, Higgins
Richard Sherman is announcing the pick.
All right, let me say. I think Joe's back
Luther
again.
Burden. Luther
Okay.
Burden.
Are you good
Bill
now, Joe?
Johnson. Hey, Joe.
Oh, he's logging
What's
out.
going
logging
on
out.
with Joe?
I don't know. Truth, you're messing things up, man.
Nick Emanwori.
Oh, the
Emanwori.
corner. Okay, it was the
The
corner.
well, they got
Well, that's the safety. That's the
Safety.
safety out of South Carolina.
Yeah.
Well, so as I said, I was thinking DB. So hey, got it.
Yep.
That's a nice pick. That's
All right,
a nice pick, big guy.
I think Joe's back. Let me try to bring him on again.
Sure.
All right, Joe. I think we're good now. You look all right now.
All right, guys. I logged on through the phone this time. I tried the laptop. Didn't work too well. How you doing?
Good, man. How you feeling? Tell us how you feeling after. How you like the picks? How you feeling after night one?
I was. I'm going to use one word: optimistic. Okay. I was happy at pick 3. The Giants took best available.
Yep.
Fired up about Carter. Kind of reminds me of. I'm going to take it back a little, but Strahan, Tuck, OC, and you remember Kiwanuka?
Oh, of course.
Oh, that was something.
These gray hairs say I remember a lot.
What's that?
These gray hairs say I remember a lot.
There you go. But the excitement there, I got to say, I don't like to talk a lot of smack, but the defensive line has got to be one of the top in the league right now. They got it on paper anyway.
Yeah,
so,
potentially. You're right.
And then, I actually thought that the Giants would potentially trade in for a later first-round pick, and that would have happened. I blew my mind. And when they took Jackson Dart, I was excited.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pass a quick comment about Sanders. If his last name wasn't Sanders, I don't think we're all talking so much about him. That's my take on it. The film I watched on him, he holds on to the ball too long. I just you can't do that in the NFL. You're going to get killed.
Right.
And towards the end, Daniel Jones
was
was afraid to throw the ball.
Junkins.
Right, he got stacked left and right. It was ugly, and I just didn't want to see that again. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited after day one.
Good.
And
real quick, points on Junkins.
In Cleveland, yeah.
Cleveland took Junkins. Okay.
Yeah, Cleveland took Junkins.
All right.
I hope that doesn't give start a real run on running backs yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping not as well. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if there's a run on anything right now.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I was saying that I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants go early, and you might think on running back is because of how they're building the team in terms of strong defense.
third running back off the board.
He's the first tonight. So instead of have a good running game and sort of do a ball possession kind of situation as much as you can in this day and age in the NFL. You know what I mean? So that's how I'm thinking. That it wouldn't shock me if they went that route.
I agree. Well, Mark, before we let you go with your time here, tell me what you're thinking about next year. Any parting thoughts you want to leave us with?
Next season.
Season.
Well, I think as Joe just said, I'm feeling optimistic. I can't say I'm the biggest Jackson Dart fan, or matter of fact, the QB thing isn't really great this year. I'm not even sure that I'm a big Cam Ward fan. So so the point is I'm making though is that I think the QB room is actually set up that someone can come in and take their time and be developed. And I'm putting my faith in Dable and his ability to develop a quarterback. That's basically where I'm at.
Right.
So look, so I'm optimistic absolutely about how I see the team being developed over the free agency and what's happening in the draft. I like the direction. I like how things are going. All right.
Good. So you're optimistic. We like to
Yeah.
hear it. Well, Mark, as always, man, we appreciate we know you support us a lot, so we appreciate you being on, man. Thanks for joining us.
Take care. Good.
All right, later.
Take care, Mark.
Take care.
All right. So Joe, what do you think they're going to do at 65 tonight?
Offensive lineman.
Okay.
Anybody in mind?
Maybe no, I don't. But maybe wide receiver. What are you thinking?
Well, Truth and I were thinking
Shawn
DT.
Yeah, Shawn and I both lean DT.
Interesting. It's a deep draft for DTs, from what they're saying, right?
It is.
Yeah.
I think they'll either go DT in the third, running back in the fourth, or running back in the third, DT in the fourth.
I couldn't argue that point. I wouldn't be upset with either one either. You know, I'm kind of glad that they didn't trade away. You know, I was worried that they were going to trade away Thibodeau because he's in I guess his 5th-year option, and I was afraid that potentially was going to happen last night. But this first thing this morning, you wake up and he's got a deal now, right?
Well, they picked up his 5th-year option,
right?
So, which is good. So they got him for another 2 years. They figured out. They're showing that they believe in him too. Again, it's the people because I mean, Joe, you brought up the Tuck Kiwanuka. Like people think you can only have like a couple good pass rushers. No, you need a lot of them. Like there's no reason why to get rid of Tibbs just because you have Carter now.
Exactly. And you got Burns, and then Sexy Dexy in the middle, man. He's got a lot of help there.
Yeah.
I could see why you'd want to go for, another defensive tackle. The guy they picked up from Tampa Bay, help me out. Was it last year? Is it a 1-year deal? Is he still on the roster?
For
Nunez Roche.
Oh, Nunez
Roche. He's talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
They're probably going to release him. They're probably going to release him.
Yeah, he was like a one and done, right?
No, he's still on.
Deal.
Yeah, they give him a 2-year deal.
Okay, all
but
right.
He'll probably get released.
Yeah. The other individual that never really panned out is number 13. That kid.
Hyatt.
Thank you, Jalen Hyatt, right?
Yep.
Hyatt.
Yeah.
Hyatt. Yeah.
You know, we were having a discussion with a buddy of mine about him. And he's like, "Oh, he's a pretty fast guy. The guy don't catch it. You know, the balls. I know we didn't have a great quarterback room last year, but I could see him potentially. I don't know if they'll release him, but potentially trading him away. What do you think?
I mean, maybe, but I think they're going to try to develop him. I think they knew he was going to be longer to develop, so I think they'll give him another year, I would imagine. By the way, the Dolphins took 7A.
He's got no value right now anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah, he's got that much value.
Right. Good point.
Yeah, and I'm not trading him away for like a 7th rounder or 6th rounder.
Yeah.
You got to see what he can do. Again, I thought he was a guy that was going to take a little longer to develop. So he's in year 3. So I think this is a year that he needs to take that next step up. And I do think the quarterback, I think Wilson can help develop him, teach him some things, show him some things. So I do think, I think we're good there.
Overall, you want to talk about the quarterback room year over year? Who can argue that we don't have a better quarterback room? Is it ideal? No. But considering who we had in there last year as opposed to what we got this year, I'm optimistic. I'll overuse that word, I guess. Who's the odd man out? I think Tommy DeVito, right?
Yeah, Tommy Collins is going to be the odd man out, no doubt about it.
Yeah, because he's
Maybe they'll try to hide him in the
Well, I mean, they'll keep him.
practice squad.
Yeah, they'll
I
keep
don't
him. They'll keep him for camp.
Excuse me. Can they put him to the practice squad because he's already been up and down X amount of times? Can they really push him back down to the
He's
practice?
got to go through waivers, Joe. He's got to go through waivers to get there.
Okay. I got you.
I mean, they'll keep him through camp, I think, because you need a camp body, right?
Right.
So they're not going to cut him yet, but the season. Question is, will they put Dart on the practice squad or will they carry 3 quarterbacks? That's going to be the question. What they do there with Dart. So I'll be curious to see what they do with that.
I think they'll carry 3 quarterbacks this year.
Yeah, I got to agree with that. 3, they're going to carry 3. I don't see Dart on the practice squad.
No,
he'll get picked up. He'll get picked up.
Right. So you carry 3. They don't carry a fullback, so there you go. You don't have to worry about that.
Right.
So there'll be no fullback.
Let him sit. Don't rush him.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
You guys remember Eli's first year? We had Kurt Warner was the quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were actually winning, and they mid-season they decided to pull Kurt Warner and put Eli in. So
5-4. They were 5-4.
They had a winning record, and they pulled Kurt Warner. So
yeah, he wasn't too happy.
No, he wasn't happy. He moved on. He did well. But that was the way to do it. Let the young quarterback watch an experienced veteran, and get him in. So I expect you take a quarterback in the first round, whether it's number 1 or number 32, he's got to get into the game during the season.
I'd be surprised if they put him in. I think they're going to let him, unless something bad happens. He's gonna sit and watch
the whole season. You think?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. Unless
there's a good chance.
Yeah, I think unless something happens where it's really bad, but they want to let him develop. They're not going to rush him in. I don't see it happening. But interesting things have happened because again, they drafted him with the intent to not put him in. So they drafted him to sit for that year is what I think. So we'll see. Anything's possible, though. Anything's possible.
We got we're fired up about this. I'd like it to start tomorrow, but
right.
Yeah.
Hey guys, real quick. They got Chicago and then New Orleans. The next 2 picks. Do you think New Orleans goes quarterback?
Yeah, I do. I was surprised they didn't go in the first round. I was surprised.
Will it be Sanders or will it be shocked again?
I mean, there's a chance they don't go quarterback because I don't know what they think of Spencer Rattler. Do they view him high? I don't know. I mean, it would make sense for Sanders to go there.
I know. I don't know. I'm looking at all the teams, and that makes New Orleans. After that, there's a run of teams that don't need a quarterback. So I mean, if you don't get picked at 40, it may be until 50 in the 50s he gets picked.
Don't be surprised if Dallas drafts him.
I heard that chatter. I also heard the Rams.
All right, so Dallas at 44. Okay.
Where are the Rams?
They're at
Rams
40.
are 46.
All right. There was some chatter about that this morning as well.
All right, so we got 40,
Rams.
44, and 46. All right.
I mean, Jerry loved Deion Sanders. He still loves him. So I would not put it past Jerry to take him and let him develop for a couple of years. And, I would not be shocked. That would be a Jerry move. No doubt about it.
Yeah, it would be no surprise for sure.
Yeah. That's just, yeah. So, Mark, tell me, sorry, I've typed in the mark here. Joe, we got a couple minutes left before we let you go, but tell us what you're thinking about next year. You don't have to give prediction or win-loss total, anything like that, but what's your thoughts for next year and any kind of other parting thoughts about the Giants?
All right, well, I'll ask you to help me out with this, but how many games did we lose this past season with 1 score or less? Was it about 6?
It was 8.
Okay, so I'll throw in 6. Even though it's 8, I'll throw in 6.
Yep.
You flip those 6, you're talking a 9-win team.
Yep.
So, do I think they're going to be a 9-win team? I would like that. Realistically, 7 or 8 is probably, in my opinion, a more realistic win total. So
Okay.
that's where I see the Giants this year.
Okay.
If we could sustain drives, which we weren't able to do last year, which is what the defense just burned out.
Yep.
Even as good as they were, they were out there too long.
Yep.
Each game. But if we could sustain drives and keep it tight, keep it under a score, I think you're looking 7, 6, 7, hopefully 8 or 9, but in that range.
Right.
Okay.
Another quarterback, another running back taken, fellas.
Yep. Travion Henderson just went. Judkins went earlier.
We might see a run here for next 15, 20 picks.
It
might
might.
see
It might.
William Johnson go.
It might. It might. Well, Joe, we're glad that you're positive about the season. I think we're all feeling that way. It was a good thing there, and we appreciate your support, man. Thanks for coming on and joining us here on Draft Night, man. We appreciate you.
Well, thank you all for bringing me on, guys. I'm looking forward to more of your show. Okay.
I appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Joe.
Go Giants.
Bye now.
All right, give me a minute. We're gonna bring Jeff on here in just a second, but yeah, listen, there may not be the running backs that make it to the Giants at 65. Like,
No,
it might be.
and we kind of knew that those guys, even Scatterbo may not make it if it gets a run like this. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. It's gonna be interesting. I'm surprised that
But the good news, but the good news, Sean, is that no DT has been taken yet. That's
True.
the good news.
Yes, it is. It is. So that's good. And again, you can still get a halfway decent running back in the 4th round too. I think with
I
the guys
agree.
now, right? So that's not bad. So we'll see. I mean, it makes sense. Trayvon Henderson to the Patriots. The Ohio State connection.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it makes sense. I know a lot of people are talking about I can't see taking an offensive or an O lineman in the 3rd round. I don't know.
Who
can't.
are they talking about?
Well, no, I think a lot of Giants fans want to see an O line in the 3rd round, or quite a few. I can't see an O line going in the 3rd round. Like, I just can't. But I could be wrong.
Right? Yeah, of course. I mean, it all depends. I'm trying to look at the board here, and we talk about best player available. That also helps with the position. And I don't know which offensive lineman would make sense, especially if you have DTs on the board.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think DT over that. I also think running back over DT or O line as well. But all right, well, let's bring Jeff on because I know he went in, went out, he came early, so we'll get him on.
Come on, Jeff, get in here.
What's up, Jeff?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How we doing?
There he is.
Good. Is this working all right?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah,
Great.
Like the Giants tank
You should
top.
take about. Sorry.
So how you feeling after last night, Jeff?
I mean, how can you not be happy about last night? We got the best player in the draft, and we got a quarterback. What else is there?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, if I'm honest, am I a believer? Was I a believer in Jackson Dart beforehand? No, but Dable believes in him. Our team believes in him, so I'm a Jackson Dart guy until I'm not. He's got 3 years to prove it to me, and in 3 years, I'll either still be supporting him or I'll be out. I mean, just like any other quarterback we draft.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But right now, why would you not be excited?
Yeah. Would you have rather it would have been Shador?
No, I'm not a Shador guy. Sean knows. We've talked a little bit. Sean likes Daniel Jeremiah, so Daniel Jeremiah is a truck and a trailer guy. Shador's a trailer, not a truck, and that's why he hasn't been drafted yet. He's a trailer. He's not a truck. You put Shador on the Philadelphia Eagles with the best roster in the league, he can probably win you a championship. Can he elevate a roster? I don't think so. I'm looking for a truck, not a trailer, and I don't take a trailer with the 3rd pick in the draft.
Yep. No, that's fair. And like I said, whoever they drafted, I wanted Shador, but I'm going to be a Dart fan because I like Dart anyway. I just thought I preferred Shador over him. But when you look at Dart, I know the things he has to work on, but I like the fire, I like the passion, I like what he brings, and what I'm excited about is Dabs is excited about him. So if Dabs loves him and that's their guy, then I'm good with it because I do trust Dabs' evaluation when it comes to quarterback. So yeah, I'm good with it. And again, Abdul Carter, like that's a great. Like, how can you not be excited about that? Like,
You have to be. He's the best player in the draft. I think the position versatility, the pass rush. I mean, he's not just an edge. He played off ball linebacker his first 2 years. He can
yep,
do more than just play the edge. Like
yep, um,
I, I, I think the dumbest thing on Giants Twitter has been, why are we going to take a guy that's only going to play 50% of the snaps? We got Thibodeau, we got Burns. Well, you can play him at linebacker.
yep,
You can play him in the middle. You can have him blitz in the gaps. You can rotate all three guys. Like you can do so much with a creative defensive coordinator, with a guy that knows how to use these guys. You take a good football player. You don't
yeah.
overthink it. What's wrong with having two? People are talking about, oh, we're going to trade Thibodeau now. What is wrong with having too many good football players? Why do Giants fans seem to think we can have too many good players? It's
You,
not a bad thing to have a lot of good players. That's what we're trying to do here. We
well, I
want multiple good players.
unfortunately, I think a lot of them aren't old enough to remember the days when you had that. Kianuka, you had, Tuck, all those guys. You were still, you had all those guys. Like it's what they did. Corsi did it. George Young did it. Like you get guys, and you'll figure out a way. You'll figure out a way. I don't think it'll happen, but I still believe you move Thibodeau down to defensive end, do a traditional 3-4, move Tibbs at the end, and you have Carter on the outside. But nothing else. You put him on the inside. He can guard the tight end. Cover a tight end. You got ways to do. You use him like Micah Parsons. That's really what you do. You use
Correct.
him exactly like Micah Parsons.
You could do in a base 3-4. You put him next to Okereke. Like, McFadden's a good player, but if you're on 1st and 10 with a 3-4, you put him next to Okereke. You got your 3 down linemen, Dexter and whoever. Hopefully we draft somebody tonight. Colston, Nacho, whoever you want to use. You got Okereke and Carter with Burns and Thibodeau on the outside. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. Carter can be your spy. We have mobile quarterbacks in our division. Carter's spy. Hey, don't let Jalen Hurts on 2nd and 5. Don't let him run for first down.
Yep.
Cover that running back out of the backfield. Blitz the A gap. Dexter's going to take up 2 blockers here. You blitz the A gap. Tibbs and Burns on the outside. Like that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Then you go with your NASCAR package on 3rd and long. You can move Thibodeau inside, Thibodeau, Lawrence, Burns, Carter, and just rush 4, or you mix and match. Like you can get creative. That's the whole point. He gives you options. A
He
good
does.
versatile player gives you options. That's
Yeah.
why you take him at 3rd overall. A player
Yeah.
that can do all those different things.
I agree. It's going to bring excitement back. There's going to be a lot of good things that are going there, and yeah, it's. I wish the season was starting sooner, but I'm happy. Like I said, they did what they needed to do. I like the plan. I like what they're doing. What do you think they're going to do tonight in at pick 65, Jeff?
You got to go trenches. It's either offensive line or defensive line. I'm seeing a lot of guys saying you got to go skill player or whatever. The running backs are deep. You can still get a running back in the 4th or 5th. I mean, we got Tracy in the 5th last year, and this is a better running back class.
Yep.
I don't see any reason not to go D line or O line. We still need another defensive tackle, whether it's a run stopper or a 3 tech. Like maybe it's Alfred Collins from Texas. He could still be there.
I think he will.
Yeah.
If he's there, he's the pick. I mean, if he's there at 65, you take him. There's some people
Hey,
that don't think he'll last that
Darius
long. If he's there, you
Alexander's
take him.
still out there, Jeff. Darius Alexander's still out there.
Yeah, I mean that'd be great. I don't see him making it to 65, but if he's there, great.
Yeah.
The Florida State's got a kid, I think, Farmer maybe.
Yeah, Joshua Farmer.
Yep, he's decent. And me personally, I want 2 defensive tackles this draft. It's such a deep class. I want one on day 2 and I want one on day 3. You got Nebraska's got a couple of kids. Notre Dame's got a couple of kids.
Ty Robertson out of Nebraska. Yep, he's a good player.
Robinson and Hutmacher. Hutmacher's not terrible for a day 3, 6th, 7th round pick.
Yeah,
wrestling background. You always want those guys. Trust me.
What about C.J. West out of Indiana, day 3 pick?
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, he's
Is
a
he
big
what?
boy. He big
Big
boy.
boy?
Plays a lot of nose. So, and then he could fill some of the snaps with Dexter when he gets a break. Had a
Okay, so
98%.
that's what I want too. That's why I want two, because I would love a Collins who could start, and I want a solid nose tackle that can spell Lawrence, because I'm sick of him coming off for one series, then we get gashed.
Yeah.
Every time Dex needs a blow, we just get gashed every time.
Yep.
So I either want that.
And West had a
Here's-
98% run defense percentile in the
Okay, so that guy and with the Oregon kid, Caldwell from
Caldwell,
Oregon's
yeah.
a big boy.
Big boy. Yep, he's a big boy.
Give me one of those guys. Give me one of those guys.
So here's
I think you're gonna get your wish.
Here's my guy. The Saints took Tyler Shuck.
Wow,
Oh
ahead
my
of Sanders.
goodness.
Wow.
Oh my
Shuck
goodness.
goes ahead of Sanders. Wow.
Here we go. Here we
Wow.
go, fellas.
Your production with that.
Milrow's
dude.
gonna get picked before Sanders too now. Watch.
Now that's crazy. And I'm a Milrow guy. Like, I believe in the traits and the character of Milrow, but I still can't believe both these guys are going to go before Sanders. And you know me, I'm not a Sanders at 3 guy, but I would take Sanders over Shuck personally.
What do you think's going on, guys? What's happening here?
I think the interviews.
What are they seeing that you're not seeing here?
I think the interviews, and I think it's Dad. I think it's Dion.
So there's something to that. It's not just a media concoction. There's something actually to it.
Listen, yeah.
You want no part of Dion. You want no part of Dion.
As much as it pains me to say it, I don't think they want the Dion thing, which is unfortunate because Dion was the same way when he. No, it's not. It's not. But I don't think you're going to get the circus that people think. But I'm going to throw a name out here, the Giants sign, that I think could be a surprise when you get him with Andre Patterson to develop him, because I don't think the team he was on before developed D lineman very well. But Ledbetter out of Jacksonville, I think he's gonna be a surprise, because Jacksonville does not develop.
Think he'll blossom.
He's a big boy, and his production was pretty good when you look at it comparatively. And I think you get him with Andre Patterson, it's going to be good. So
okay.
So I'm going to bring in Chris Webb here to join us, so we're all going to kind of hang out and talk a little bit with that. So let me add him in, and we can get his thoughts, because between me, you, Jeff, and Truth, and Chris, and that, we're all opinionated. So this should be fun. What's up, C Webb?
Gents, how you guys doing? Happy Friday.
Yeah, same to you, man. How you feeling? How you feeling about night one?
We're finally here, fellas.
Yes.
It's great to see them go BPA and have the flexibility. Kind of how a lot of Giants fans have been complaining for so long. We haven't built well through the draft. I think Joe Shane, he's learned on the go and has kind of grown in his role, which is good.
Yep.
And they finally put their stamp on a quarterback. So whether you like it or not, it's Jackson Dart. They took assets and traded up for a quarterback, and there we are. Let's hope Dable and Shane are right.
And they got a good deal too. Let's be honest. Like, they didn't give up a king's ransom. That was a fair deal. Like, some people are complaining. How can you complain about what we gave up a 3rd round next year and the 99th pick, a supplemental pick? That was an extra pick to begin with. That's a great deal.
Especially Atlanta gave up a 1st rounder for next year to move up, which, I mean, and didn't. Yeah. So no, I agree. I think
great deal.
With
great
those
deal.
There, absolutely. And Dabbs is, like I've said all night, like Dabbs is excited. That's the guy he wanted. Like, outside of Ward, right? Ward, I'm sure, was his first choice. But when you look at the excitement and what he said about him, when he was excited when the pick was made, like, Dart is a Dabbs guy. There's no doubt about it, and that's what you want, right?
You guys touched on it earlier. My only concern with our defense, where a lot of our fan base is like, it's going to be elite, blah, blah, blah. They got to figure out how to stop the run on 1st and 2nd down. If they can't do that, then it's going to be the same issue.
That's why we got to draft 2 more DTs tonight.
You got to find D tackles. Yeah.
I think
get a nose, like Jeff said, also, and get a.
But we were also getting thrashed on the edge as well. They couldn't play well against the edge.
Aziz cannot set the edge. Like, we all love Aziz as a pass rusher. He's god awful against the run. And Thibodeau doesn't get enough credit for being
at times. Kayvon and Burns were struggling at times. but I think
They
some of that
were.
came on was injury.
Yeah, Burns was injury. Tibbs had his thing. I think also learning that defense. But I think because when the guys came in on the D line, the run defense got better, and you could see adjustments that were there. So like as much as Nacho is a fan of the show, he just didn't do the things he needed to do last year. So I think Colston again. I'm going to keep talking that guy. I think Ledbetter is another guy. He's a big body. Like those are guys I think can improve the run. Also, what's the guy from who's the Seattle? The lineman they got from Seattle. Like I think he can do some things. But I agree. Was it Benson? Was that? He got 3 names. I know that. I know he's one of those 3-name guys. But I think Ledbetter's gonna. I think Colston is gonna be the surprise. Like he's gonna really help against the run and the pass rush. Like that's the guy.
I'm excited about him. I think he's underrated. He's got some position versatility. I think he could.
Roy Robertson Harris is who you're talking about.
Robertson Harris is the Tennessee guy.
There we go. Thank you. That's the Seattle guy. Yep. And then Ledbetter out of Jacksonville. Like I said, I think Ledbetter, you get him with Andre Patterson. Patterson can do some things, I think, with that dude. But Colston from Dallas, bringing him in, young ascending guy, I think he's gonna do some things. I really do.
Yeah, I think he's an underrated signing. He's got size. What's he, 6'5"? He's got some size. He's got some position versatility. I think we can start him. I think he starts as the end in the 4-3 or 3-4. Excuse me. Dexter, him, and whoever we draft at the top of the third tonight. Hopefully Collins. That's what I want to be the starting 3 with their hand in the dirt opening day in a 3-4. Dexter, Colston, and Collins. That's my hope. That's my hope.
Yep.
Yeah,
well,
that's a nice
Jeff.
Collins.
Jeff, before we let you go here, give us your thoughts on the upcoming season and any other final thoughts you got about the G-Men.
Final thoughts. I'm sick of being negative. It's been too bad for too long, and I'm hoping this is the draft that turns it around.
Yep.
With Carter, Tibbs, Burns, Lawrence, we get back to the defense that we're supposed to be. Holland and Adebo are really good signings to supplement that. And Jackson Dart, we wait and see. Dable and Shane get 2 more years. They got this year and next year. We need to see competence from the offense this year. We got a veteran quarterback. We have 0 excuses left. Win some games this year. Moving forward next year. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work out. We got a new regime in 2027 with a pretty strong draft class. I'm hoping for the best. Worst case scenario, they got 2 years and we start over in 27. But there's no reason to think we can't be better with a dominant defense. Shane Bowen, no excuses. Get it done this year. Figure it the hell out.
Yep.
Dart sits. Dart learns. Dable, you're a quarterback coach. Develop this freaking kid. You picked him. Make it work. Let's go win some freaking football games. That's it.
Let's do it. Well, Jeff, we appreciate the support. I know you and I will probably debate on Twitter again, but I like to hear you're going to be more positive. So,
no choice. I'm sick of it. Let's go. Time to win again. Corey Webster, you're an amazing player, man. We love you.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Outside of the quarterback, outside of Dart, who else on this team really needs to be developed? Guys that were drafted last year and the year before.
Banks and Robinson especially. Evan Neal at guard would be great. If Evan Neal can make it at guard, that would be one of the best things that could happen to this team. If Evan Neal could make it at guard.
Robinson right now.
Wandale needs to prove it, man. He's got. I've been hearing for 3 years what he can do. Let's see. He needs to get the ball to him accurately and on time. He's supposed to be a run after catch guy. Let me see you be a run after catch guy. No excuses. Hopefully Russ can get it to him. Theo Johnson, year 2. Theo Johnson needs to develop.
Let's be fair with Robinson. He had horrible quarterbacks to deal with.
You're right. That's true. That's why I want to see
92 receptions.
Another no excuses moment, right? No excuses. Now you got better quarterback play. Go show it to me.
Yep. Agreed. Well, Jeff, we appreciate
TJ Sanders just got picked by Buffalo.
Buffalo?
Yep.
All right. Well, Jeff, we appreciate
as long as Collins is still there, we're good.
Right?
That's what we're hoping for.
Thanks for joining us, Jeff. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys.
See you, Jeff.
See ya.
Yeah, that was a good question. I do listen. Wandale did not have the quarterback that could utilize his skill set. Like I know people say, hey, he only catches like 4-yard passes. Well, that's because he is a yak guy. He's a guy to get free. And people forget he runs a 4.4. He was like a 4.46 40. Like, so you can use, I know he's small, but you can use him on the outside. If you got a quarterback that knows how to throw them and use them, like you've seen glimpses of when he had his 100+ yard games. You could see what he could do. You just need a quarterback that can do it consistently. So I think he's the Cole Beasley of Daboll's offense. That's really what he is. And Cole Beasley had a hell of a career, right? I'm fine with that. You get another guy on the outside, and it opens things up. And so I think it's good. I think the other guy that needs to step up, Chris, that needs to be developed, and he was getting there until the injury, was Theo Johnson. Like, he was really coming along as a receiver. His blocking is completely underrated. Like, that was overlooked by a lot of Giants fans. He's a really good blocker, but he wasn't used at Penn State as a receiving tight end because Tyler Warren was there. So he was underdeveloped.
Let me ask this question for you guys, gents.
Yeah.
With the Jackson Dart pick and developing him into the quarterback he should be, Jalen Hyatt, Theo Johnson, a lot of these younger guys on offense, Wando Robinson, what do you think Dable and Kafka are signaling that the offense is going to be? Like, what are they trying to envision? I know we've talked about throwing the ball on time, being able to take your shots when you need to take your shots, but do you kind of see them kind of looking at that spread kind of RPO offense where they're trying to get the ball on time, but then also take their shots? What do you think the vision is long term for the offense?
Go ahead, Truth.
I think it's all the above. I think the reason why they chose Dart because he can run the football really well, and he's a good hard runner. That's Dable's MO. He likes to do those RPOs. Get the quarterback involved in a little bit of running game, and again, it all depends how well Dart can adjust. I know the big knock on him was progression and reading the defense, going through his progression. So I think that's the biggest thing they have to work with him.
Yeah, I think it's going to be what you saw last year, but with a quarterback who can actually make it happen. Because I said all season, guys were open all season long. We just didn't have a quarterback that could hit him, or he waited too long to throw it to him because he had to make sure they were open, right? So
yeah,
I think it's not going to be heavy run. It might be game to game, but he's going to be a passing quarter. I think take the opponent out of it, but what you saw in the Colts game, that's what that offense is going to be. That's my opinion, and I think Wilson is going to get there. He can run, but he can do the RPO play action at least. He's not going to run up. He's somewhat mobile. But I do think it's going to be pass heavy, but I think guys are going to be open a lot. I do. Like, that's the one thing that I saw, and everybody commented last year was guys were open. We just could. I mean, we had two guys open on a flea flicker, and we couldn't hit either one of them, right? So
right.
That's what I think. What do you think, Chris?
I really think he's trying to spread people out and throw the football, throw the rock all over the field. Yeah, my biggest concern last year with Daniel Jones was him not being able to throw on time, and his confidence was broken, man. Through all those years of just taking beatings and the hits, eventually that stuff catches up to you.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, just he wasn't there, and even seeing the second and third string quarterback, Drew Lock, it just got worse. So,
yeah,
like you said, let's see how we look with better quarterback play. And let's see if this team can stay healthy for an entire season, because I think that's been our biggest crutch as well. Injuries are going to happen all the time. I understand that. We tend to have clutch injuries at the wrong time all the time.
Agreed.
At premium positions, your left tackle can't go down. Like, your quarterback can't go down.
Right. Jets took Mason Taylor.
Yeah, interesting.
Weapon for Fields. Listen, Aaron Glenn, he's gonna do what Detroit did. He's gonna build the
They're
same
having
way.
a quietly good draft so far. It's
The
only
Jets,
yeah,
they are. Aaron Glenn was a great hire. I listen. He was a guy that if Daboll got rid of, I would have taken Aaron Glenn here. He just gets it. He just absolutely gets it. So here's an interesting point. We'll go back to the offense a second. Take your chance when you can. I think what people don't realize enough about Russell Wilson last year is he had that taken away from him. Arthur Smith would not let him audible into passing. He took it away. He's like, you can't audible. Daboll's not going to do that. Daboll's going to be like, if it's there, take it. So I think Wilson is going to benefit because when you look at what Wilson was doing, he was doing well. And then later in the season, when Smith took that away from him, he wasn't playing as well. So if you have a coach in Daboll who's going to be like, yeah, if the guy's open deep, throw it or audible into something. I just feel like that's going to be – I think we're going to get a better version of Russell Wilson than what Pittsburgh got. That's my thought.
From your perspective of Russell Wilson and Jameis, how far of a gap do you think there is from Jameis and Russell Wilson as starting quarterbacks?
I think there's a big gap.
Yeah. Once a Super Bowl champion, that's
fair.
Yeah, and it's not even so. It's more so because here's the thing: Jameis is going to throw the ball, but he's going to throw it to both teams. That's my issue with Jameis. Right. Like he's not afraid to throw it, which is good. Oh, San Francisco took Alfred Collins.
Oh man,
it's the run on D tackles. It's the run on D.
Now it's coming. Yeah.
Yep.
Now watch Norman Lott will be coming soon.
But I think as a backup, Winston is a very good backup. He'll work with Jackson Dart. He knows his role with Russell Wilson. Like he's been a backup for a while, so I think it's good. And if Wilson gets hurt or whatever, you can put Winston in, and he can do all right. Right? He can play a couple games. Like he's better than Drew Lock. I'll say that.
Right.
But I think there is a big gap. Do you agree, or do you think they're closer than?
I agree. My biggest concern with Jameis is the turnovers.
Yeah.
And you can't sustainably win games if you turn the football over.
And that's just plagued him his whole NFL career, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those turnovers.
Yeah, and I think he's good with being a backup. I think he knew his role coming in, right? Like I think he understands it. I give him credit for that, right? Yeah, he'll compete. I think there'll be a competition, but I think he's good with being a backup. And that contract says backup, and I think he knows it, right?
Yep.
Just have him be in New York, because let's be real, he understands that what his life is going to be after football, and New York is going to help him get to do that.
Right.
So it's smart. And you got guys that want to be here. Wilson wanted to be here for whatever the reasons. They both wanted to be here, right? If you got guys that want to be here, I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the Cowboys pick is in. Do we think Shador goes to the Cowboys? You think Jerry's going to take Deion's boy?
I don't think so.
You think he's dropping to the third, Mike?
I don't know about the third. Oh my goodness. But I don't know, man. I don't think so. Shawn, you think it's going to be here?
Listen, I would not put it past Dallas. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but I would not be surprised because Dak misses a lot of games. Jerry loves Deion, absolutely loves Deion, and Deion loves there. It would make a lot of sense for him to go.
It does. It does. I just something about they do have other positions they need to fill. So I'm just curious.
What are their needs?
They need to get on the defensive side of the ball. Didn't they lose a couple of players?
They need D line. I think they need D line help. If I'm not mistaken.
They got they talk about wide receiver they might need to help CeeDee Lamb out. I don't know. This is going to be very interesting.
You never know with Jerry. You never know.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. He's so unpredictable. And
like I said, it would make sense because if anybody remembers when Deion signed with the Cowboys, Jerry was in love. Like he courted Deion. He full court press on Deion. He still to this day says, "I love Deion," and I know Deion's got a lot of respect for Jerry. So again, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen.
Right. So, it said right there they lost DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yep.
Yeah. So
they're running D line. Well, I'm gonna bring in Joe to join us here too. So let's welcome Joe to the Rush Podcast. What's up?
Hey, gentlemen! Happy Abdul Carter Day and Jackson Dart. But that's like a sub holiday. Nothing against it.
So there goes my question for you, Joe. I was going to ask you how you feel after day one. I think I know already.
Absolutely. You know what? Listen, I know there's some people, and I'm kind of one of them, who was like, I would have been open for a trade back if one of the two blue chip guys weren't there. but one of those blue chip guys is there. And listen, I know we need more talent on the team overall. So there's an argument, say, to be made for trading back, if that trade was even there to be happened. But I'm also a firm believer when you can get a blue chip player, blue chip prospect at least, you take him because you want to stack premier talent, and he's got that type of ability.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was super psyched. Would have been happy with him or Hunter. I actually wanted Carter more, just a little more, just because I wanted an edge. I want to get the quarterback. So I'm super psyched. Really couldn't have turned out better.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Hey, what about Shawnee? What about Mike Green going to Dallas? This edge rusher from Marshall.
That could be. Let's see what Dallas does.
We're all on the. Hey, Joe. We're all on the Shador Sanders watch right now.
Yeah.
You know what? It's interesting, and I believe I just kind of hopped on a little while ago. I was doing some other things. I believe Tyler Shuck won already.
Yeah, to New Orleans. He did.
Listen, Sanders was my number 2 QB. He's the guy I would have taken. However, I'm not in the room interviewing these guys. Right. You know, Sanders hasn't been taken for a reason. So, I loved the way he played at Colorado. This is a guy he took a lot of sacks, but wasn't playing behind a good offensive line. Plays well under pressure. You know, grew up with football in his veins. You know, with his dad.
I was close.
And okay, they got Donovan. Okay, from Boston College. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that was a guy a little too early. The guy who I wanted, I think Alfred Collins, defensive tackle, just went to the 49ers. I knew he wasn't going to fall. I had a feeling he wasn't going to fall to the third, but I was hoping
that run's going to happen. Well, Chris, let me get your final thoughts before I let you go. But how you feeling about the upcoming season, and any kind of final thoughts on the Giants here?
Yeah, I just want to see progress. Let's see them continue to play hard. Let's see them win some games. Doesn't have to be X amount. Just let's see progress. And my biggest concern is Dable in 22 and kind of that first stunt. They looked very prepared. The coaching staff with Dable, Wink, the team came out prepared. Let's see that version of Dable and this coaching staff. Let's see the confidence between this coaching staff and know we're going in the right direction. Mara places blessing on the staff, and we've kind of been banging the table for consistency. Yep. That's what I'm striving for, because hiring and firing different coordinators every year, drafting guys, you have the influx of guys coming in, and then you really don't. You're in a conundrum of just being bad.
Yep.
You can never draft for. You can never get ahead. So looking forward to the season, and if you guys are at MetLife, looking forward to having a beer or a shot with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get out again this year. Hopefully, I can make it out.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
We appreciate your support, man, for sure.
Yeah, come on by J14 if you guys come by. Give me a shout.
Okay,
thank you, man.
Yeah,
all right.
We appreciate you, Chris. Have a good one, man.
Have a great weekend.
Stay well.
I agree with everything Chris was just saying in terms of how unprepared the team just looked over the past 2 seasons, as opposed to Dable's rookie year, which is I just find so concerning. Like, people are very critical of Joe Shane, and I get it. I completely get it. I'm off the Shane bandwagon myself, but I really was so upset with what I saw with the team the past 2 years under Brian Dable that I just felt there was so much unpreparedness there, especially in the beginning of both seasons, in the last 2 seasons.
See, I'm a little different take. I don't see it as unprepared. I see it as we had just had bad quarterback. We had injuries.
You know what?
That's and I think the team. Truthfully, I think when they started losing in the games the way they did, I think the team did not rally behind the quarterback. I think they knew. Like, I don't want to put everything on him, but I think that the reason why I think they were prepared was because guys were open, receivers were open all game long, and so I think the team just didn't believe in their quarterback. To me, that's what I think happened. And then you had all the injuries and young guys. That's my thoughts.
I agree with you. I think that was problem number one. But there were other aspects of the team, of the game, on both sides of the ball, were just nothing seemed set until like 4 or 5 weeks in, where the team seemed to get its feet more under its ground, and they were getting blown out consistently at the beginning of the season. I don't care if it's Dallas or San Francisco or Miami. I don't care. To get blown out like that consistently week in and week out in the beginning of both seasons is just it looked like a garbage product. And I know people talk about the talent. I think that the talent was better than what we saw the past 2 seasons. I'm not saying it was great, but just I have a really bad taste in my mouth with Brian Table over the past 2 years. How about the whole, not having a field goal kicker for 2 games, 2 seasons?
Yeah, that was a big blunder.
Come on. I mean, that's 2 years in a row. I mean, give me a break.
That's a tough one because you don't prepare to have a backup kicker, right? Like,
there's lots of them around.
There is, but I mean, like in game, like you don't. I don't know too many teams that carry 2 kickers, but I get it. I get how it looks for sure.
From what I recall, the Giants were aware that there was a strong possibility, or 50-50, that the kicker was not going to be available leading up to the game.
Okay.
From what I remember. So I mean, if it was something that was a complete surprise out of the blue, I'm not going to complain about that, of course. But I don't know. We'll see. Listen, I give Dable a lot of credit for that first year. I thought we had our coach. I'm like, oh my God! Like, we have our general manager, we have our coach. We just went to the playoffs with a team that never should have made the playoffs. I'm like, we're all set, And like, I'm a New York Mets fan. That's how I feel with the Mets right now. I'm like, my God, we've got
Let's go Mets, baby.
Yeah, I'm like, we've got the front office, and like that's so key, And listen, and it does start. I'm with you, Joker. I'm not going to absolve Daniel Jones. I was a defender of his. I was one of those guys who was like, at least I wanted it. At least I wanted to see him, up until like the beginning of last year. Then I was out, but I wanted to see him get more chances. And I always saw something where he'd have a monster game that would draw me back in, 4 touchdowns, 450 yards. And so it does. It starts with the quarterback, but it wasn't just the quarterback. I don't know. Listen, I'm always rooting for the team. I'm rooting for Brian Dable. Yeah. I don't have my faith has been, tarnished. But listen, hopefully with Dart, he's got a guy that it can groom, a guy that he believes in more. And I've got some hope with Dart.
Yeah, listen, I mean, he's excited about him. It's the guy that he wanted, right? So you like that.
Good to see.
And I do think, like we mentioned it earlier, with Neil on here too, it's like the quarterback, there's a cloud that's been lifted. And I think that cloud has been lifted from Daboll too. So I think you're going to see a different Daboll this year. I think Daboll was – listen, I was out on our quarterback after the Seattle game 2 years ago in 23 when he basically quit. I was willing to give him another shot this year because he was surrounded with talent, whatever else. But it wears on you. And somebody who coached, like, I get it. Like, I'm sure it wore on Daboll. Like, those first couple games and it happened and you see these mistakes like over and over. And, I mean, the final straw was the Carolina game where he missed the 2 open guys on a flea flicker. Like, that just can't happen, right? So
yeah.
I would not be surprised if we see a more exuberant Daboll this year. So I think that's my feeling. Whether I'm right, I don't know, but that's my feeling is that, and I think the team in general is going to be excited too. Like, I think the team likes who they have. I think they like the quarterbacks. I think they like the guys that are there. It just seems a little different. You know what I mean? Would you agree, Joe?
You put it perfectly, Joker. A cloud has been lifted, and God bless Daniel Jones. He's a solid human being. He's a good guy. And I think he could be a really good backup on the Colts or whoever throughout the rest of his career. He can be a very good spot starter. Yeah, he may. And but no, the cloud has been lifted. I felt like that too. I was ready to move on, even before last season. But I said I really did like the guy for a long time, but I was ready to move on. And the cloud's been lifted. Everyone could feel it. Yep. And, I definitely want to move on from last season. And I do think this team is I know we have a tough schedule in this upcoming year, but I do think this is a much more talented team on paper, than it's given credit for.
They're just young.
They're young. Yeah, they got to show it. They got to show it. But I do like the talent on the team, and this is a completely different roster from just a few years ago.
It does. I like the additions for a number of reasons, like Holland and Tibbs being college teammates, Debo and Bobby O being teammates. Like that back end with Holland and that secondary, Pinnock did a couple good years, but last year that communication he just didn't have it. So now you put a Holland back there. I think that helps. I think it's going to help Banks, with the Debo there as well.
Agreed.
So I do like what they've done. I think there's definitely better. Who are the Rams going to take? Because the Rams were extremely excited with who they picked. McVay was he was extremely. Is this going to be?
Ask you,
yeah.
Who do you guys want? If there's a specific player who you think could realistically fall to their number one pick in the third round that the Giants have, is there a particular player like reasonable?
Joe.
What's that?
Wow. So the Rams took the board. Rams took Ferguson out of Oregon.
Wow, they were happy with him, huh?
Yeah, extremely happy with him, I guess. Yeah. Listen, man, I don't want to. Okay, Darius Alexander, who else I want in the Giants. I thought he was a second-round guy. He's the guy I talked about weeks ago. I watched him at the Senior Bowl. He impressed all the coaches there. I heard the things. I watched him at practice. He was dominating. I think he would be great. You have Colston on one end, him on the other end, and Dex in the middle. That's a guy that I would really like. Peebles could be another guy potentially that's there.
Not at 65 though, Sean.
You think he'll be gone later on? Yeah,
we'll be there at 105.
These picks are flying off the board.
I'm really listen. Caleb Johnson is really appeling to me at pick 65.
So far, looking like it. My fingers are crossed right now.
I really want to make sure, just given the depth of this class, being interior defensive line, offensive line, I'd say more of the focus on the interior, the offensive line. I'd like to walk out with, I'd like to walk out of here with a good defensive lineman, interior defensive lineman, and a good guard or center. It's the strength of this draft. Last year, I don't believe we took any offensive linemen. Last year's class was really strong on the offensive line. We didn't walk out of there with any. Right? Am I right about that? And then, and I remember it was like 3 or 4 years ago.
We had the 2 undrafted free agents, so we got
I like what we did with the free agents. I did on the offensive line. Those guys were playing pretty well last year, from what I remember.
We took 2 undrafted free agents last year.
Gotcha.
Cuba,
Will Johnson, next
to
pick.
Arizona. That's a good pick. See, maybe in the 5th round you take a lineman. I don't know, or maybe wait undrafted, depending who's there.
I don't know, but just given that every single play on the offensive side of the ball, you got to roll out 5 offensive linemen. I really think you need to be taken walking away pretty much from every draft, at least drafts that are deep at offensive line. You need to walk away with someone, and that was two very deep draft classes on the offensive line over the past few years where we walked away with no one. I remember a few years ago, was it the Trey Smith draft?
Yeah,
where he kept falling to like 5th round, and every Giants fan on Twitter was like, "What are we doing here?" Trey Smith, who went to I think Kansas City, was still there, and we're all aware of this guy was like 3rd round talent. But sorry if you hear my dog in the background, but we all knew there was some question about the heart. But at that point, like 4th round, 5th round, like what are you doing? And it was a really, really deep class, and it was those 2 years we didn't walk away with any offensive linemen. We really got to get someone. And listen, I'm not someone who, I don't like filling holes with draft pieces. That's free agency. You want to stack talent, but I don't think this is a great draft class to begin with. And I assume D-line and O-line on the 3rd and 4th round, there's got to be some players there that we can take, just given the depth of the class. And it's not great, like, at cornerback, safety, even wide receiver, in my opinion.
D-line and running back are the 2 deepest things here. So I think you got to go D-line and running back.
Get an RB in the 5th, just like what's his name, Tyrone.
Well, guys, you still have a couple of guys on the defensive line on the board and running back, right? Caleb Johnson still Still there, and we got what do we got? 17 picks to go.
Yeah, 17. Houston's about to make their pick. They traded to get to this pick with the Raiders. I think there's still a lot of good guys that deep fourth and fifth. That's what they said when you went from picks 15 to 50. They were pretty equal, and then you got guys that are going to slide down as well.
Yeah.
So
we'll get a good player with the first pick in the third round, undoubtedly.
I think.
Like I said, like I don't believe in trying to, plug holes with draft picks. You want to stack where the talent. Just take the talent. And but just given the depth of the interior defensive line, interior offensive line in this class, I'd really like to without forcing it. I think we can get some good players and maybe even like a day one starter.
Yeah,
on the interior defensive line, possibly.
Yeah,
sure. If Darius Alexander's there, even Joshua Farmer, those are plug and play guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think Farmer is too. And you're right, Alex.
Yeah, Alexander's a good one there too. Well, Joe, before we let you head out of here, give us your final thoughts on the Giants, what you're thinking about for next year. Let us know what you're thinking, man.
Hey, man, I am now really excited about this year. I'm not expecting Super Bowl or anything. I do think we're going to be a lot more competitive than most people feel, simply because of the quarterback situation. I didn't realize this is in 2015. My dog. This is in 2015, Russ Wilson. But you know what? This is a guy who's been in the playoffs and Super Bowls. And you just got to be kind of like Peyton Manning when he was with the Broncos. Just lead the team. Don't make huge mistakes. I'm not saying don't be aggressive, but he knows what he's doing. And that's important. And just let the talent play out. Let the other players do their job.
Yeah. Just do your job. Who said that, right? Belichick. Just do your job.
Just do your job. We're all Belichick disciples. If you're old
enough.
Yep.
And I am.
I definitely am.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, man, we appreciate the support. We appreciate you coming on. Thanks for being part of it.
You guys are the best. I really appreciate your show. I appreciate you. And enjoy the rest of the draft, gentlemen.
Will do. See you, Joe.
Pins and needles right now. Take care. Yeah, I'm getting on pins and needles here, Sean. I'm keep looking at that board.
That run of D-line, I told you, dude. It was.
I
told
know.
you.
I know.
This is.
I'm just hoping that.
This is what's happening right now.
Miss the fireworks. There won't be any fireworks. And here we go.
See? Oh, that's what's happening, man. That's what's happening. There's fireworks with the D-line. But again, there's enough of them. All right, so what do you guys? We talked about Farmer. We talked about Alexander. Who's the other guys that are on it? I don't have the list.
You have Norman. You have Norman Lott. Norman Lott still there. Tennessee. I would think those are the three that we should be keeping our eye on by 65. After that, there's some guys like Ty Robertson, and you mentioned the other guy on Nebraska. Whose name?
Or Arkansas, Landon Jackson, right? Like he's still there.
Yeah, he's still up there. He's still up there.
Mark Thompson. I know he mentioned Deion Walker, but Mark Thompson, can you find the list of the 30 visits for the Giants? Not and the running backs and the D line.
Forgetting Deion Walker, he said.
What's that?
He wrote "Forgetting Deion Walker." I don't know what that means.
Yeah, we haven't brought up Deion Walker out of Kentucky.
I worry about him. I don't think he's. I think he's limited.
He did not look good at the Senior Bowl. He was exposed at the Senior Bowl.
Absolutely. I was just going to say he was exposed. He was exposed.
But he could be that big body that plugs holes. He could be like, if you get him later on, if he drops far and he's that rotational piece for.
Well, the value gets better if he's late. A late thing.
That's what I mean.
Farmer was a 30 visit. There you go.
Farmer. Okay. Was he the only one of the D line?
I don't know. I doubt it. I don't think so.
I know. I mean, the only running back left of a 30 visit was Johnson. Caleb Johnson is the only one left from the 30s. I think.
Scatterbo was a 30 visit.
Was he a 30?
Yep, I remember. Yep.
I mean, Monogane didn't count as a 30 because he was a local, but I mean, maybe that's right? A guy. Yeah. So he technically counts.
Ursi.
Arante. Well, listen, Texans need O-line because they trade away Tunsil. So
Yeah,
I mean,
he's a good play. This kid. I got work to do, but he's good. Got good size.
let's see. See if I got any info from people. I got sources messaging me. Let me see if there's anything good. Maybe. Oh yeah, nothing
They
good.
got him plug and play, right tackle. They got him plug and play. It's nice. You got what's his name over here? Wrote a lot talking about who's that? Clayton talking about burning out Dexter. I know they do have to get someone in there to help Dexter out. You know, poor guy gets double tipped.
Yeah, that's a guy you get later, in my opinion. You got to get a starter. You got to get a day one guy at D line. Like
No, I don't meant that. I meant someone be on the line with him. He'll get double teamed all the time.
Yeah. I agree. Listen, if Darius Alexander keeps slipping, I'm taking it. I don't care.
Him a farmer. Hey, listen, him a farmer. I think they're both plug and play guys. Absolutely.
I think, and Atlanta Jackson he's a guy I'm high on too. Like, again, Senior Bowl, like he showed out against really good competition. He's got a high metric. Landon Jackson from Arkansas. That's another guy that I talked about.
I'm surprised he's slipping a little bit. Sean, I'm not rubbing his head.
All my South Carolina guys are going.
Yeah.
Demetrius Knight Jr. just went to Cincinnati.
Yep, inside linebacker, right?
I said I needed somebody from South Carolina, and I don't think there's anybody left to take.
I'm surprised he went before the edge guy, Kennard.
Listen, that is surprising. Oh, man, I tell you what, Derek Kennard would be a nice rotational piece, which you don't need because you got Carter now, but he would have been another guy, right? Like, whew.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed. I know you got Carter, and you add in, you add in Derek Kennard. CJ, I'm not familiar with CJ West. What position is he? He D line.
CJ West, he played mostly nose for Indiana, but he can line up as a tackle on over the guard. He can line up.
So Mark Thompson said Collins, Alexander, and Farmer were 30 visits. So we still got two of the three. We still got two of the three. Shamar Turner, Cole brings up Shamar Turner. Not a bad pick, but he's got some character concerns with that.
Who? Alexander?
No, Shamar Turner.
Oh, yeah. Out of what?
He's the guy that, got the guy in the family jewels during one of the games. So there may be some character. But I wouldn't be bad with him. It wouldn't be a bad option. Listen, I want Alexander. I want Darius Alexander.
Yeah.
If he's there, that's the guy I want. I
said
that long ago.
Yep, CJ West is more like, I would say, round 5 early. But right now we are now we're 15 picks away. Fingers crossed that one of those Alexander's sitting there, because I do think he's a little bit notched above Farmer, notched above him.
Hey,
Farmer's
Mark,
still good.
Mark, was Dart a 30 visit too, or was he not a 30 visit? Because if he was, that means that he took 2 30 visits. So that makes they're big on their 30 visits. Again, was 40%.
The percentage, right? Yeah.
I remember it was a 30 visit. I know Carter was, but we appreciate you, Mark, looking up these 30 visit stuff, because I think they're going to go heavy on their 30 visits. Dart was the top 30 visit, so okay. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if 65 is the top 30 visit too. I would not be surprised. 15 picks away, man. We're just chugging along here, man. Truth, we're killing it tonight. We're absolutely killing it.
Are we? Hey, listen. Are we done at the pick 65 if it's before 10 o'clock? Right?
Yeah, well, our last guest is supposed to come on at 9:20. We got a gap. We have some guys that didn't show up right now.
Okay.
We'll see if our 8:30 guest, who's our UK guy, shows up, and then my guy is coming up.
Okay, yeah, I like it. Yeah.
So
I'm noticing that we have less guys on it. We have better connection.
I think it's just you. Your connection's messed up because I didn't see
Is
any
it really
issues.
mine? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you.
So,
Yeah, it's
like right now, can you hear me talking nice and fluently or no?
Yes. Right now, yes.
That's
Right
why
now,
you said. That's why before you said you're killing me because I was breaking up all the time talking.
I think so. I can't remember.
If Mike Green falls all the way to 65, would you double dip at edge? That was a good question here.
I would.
I know.
I absolutely would. Because you still need more. All right. Oh, we got our UK guy. We got Siri. Let me bring him on.
Yeah, bring him on.
Hey, mate. How we doing?
Hey guys, Terry. How we doing?
Good. How you doing, man? Thanks for coming on.
Oh, no problem. All good.
Yeah.
I got up about half an hour ago, so yeah.
Awesome.
What time is it over there? What time?
1:30 a.m.
Holy shit.
Wow. Well, we really appreciate it. 1 a.m. was nice.
Oh, no problem. You know, if we'd had a pick in the second round, I'd have been up for an hour. I wouldn't have bothered going to bed. But, you know, I thought I'd get a couple of hours in beforehand.
There you go. There you go. Well, how are you feeling after last night, after round one? How you feeling?
Well, obviously, I was really happy with Carter. I mean, who isn't going to be? It's like, I think we got the best player in the draft, third.
Yep.
So, yeah, that often doesn't happen with us.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know, the quarterback, I wasn't real hot on, but he's here. He's going back. I'm going to support him now. You know, the fact that we only actually gave up 99 this year to get him, effectively. You know, with swap of a second round pick, but yeah, gave up 99. So obviously, no extra pick today, but. Yeah, I mean, you know, we are where we are, and it's going okay so far. I've still got a few people left on the board for round 3.
Yep.
Who do you want, buddy? Who do you want at 65?
Well, at the moment, I'm looking at it being between Caleb Johnson and 3 defensive tackles.
Boy, you're right with us. You were right
yeah,
there.
I've got Jamar Turner, I've got Joshua Farmer, and I've got Darius Alexander as the guys that I'll be looking at.
Well, we have
hopefully they don't all go.
Yep.
Yeah, so hopefully they don't all go. And then obviously we're there. I don't see there being a guard worth the bother at this point.
No.
You know, I think Ratliff is more like round 4.
Yeah. This is Pins and Eagles time right now.
Yeah, I know. It's always the Eagles. They're unbelievable. I mean, even last night, you know, it's like trade up one spot to pick up a middle linebacker because they've got so many picks. They thought they'd just burn a few. I mean, Kansas City weren't going to take the guy.
They got a good player in Campbell. They got a good player.
Yep, they did. Yeah, I mean, provided his shoulders are fine, then yeah, they really did.
Yep.
Which is really annoying.
Carolina just traded to pick 51, and the pick's in.
Yep, picks in.
Okay.
I've got that on the TV as well. So, yeah. Just got the sound turned down so it doesn't interfere with this. So, I think that there's maybe 3 teams between now and the Giants picking that could take a running back. Provided there's no more trades, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Panthers going to take D-line here. What do they need?
I don't know, man. They might take a D-line to pair him up with the big kid out of Auburn.
There you go. Scorton's gone. So Nick Scorton.
Oh boy, you get it before we did. Wow.
As I say, I don't know why, because it's like, you know, I'm watching live on TV. I'm not tipping picks off of Twitter or something. I'm literally, I've got the NFL draft live on.
They got Nick Scorton out of Texas A&M. All right.
Yep. Siri told
us.
A
lot of talent. We'll see what happens with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good fit for a 4-3. Probably less so for a 3-4, but yeah, I couldn't really see him dropping in coverage too much when I actually watched him play. But I do like the guy. I think he can play it well, pretty good. Yeah, so Tennessee's up next, provided they don't trade it.
Right.
I see Shador Sanders still sitting there, right?
I'm shocked. My God. Could he go undrafted? Like, holy cow.
No, I tell you what, they're serving up a whole bunch of humble pie for Dion, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it almost seems like this is intentional in a way. I know it's not, but it seems like it could be.
Yeah. Well, it's the same with Milroe. Maybe they're actually going where the NFL actually figures they should go, because, Milroe was we're talking about him in the first round.
Yeah, there's no way.
I think he's like, I wouldn't touch him till day 3. He is what he is. He's a total development passer. And, we don't need one now, so it's immaterial. But, he's nowhere near as good as like a guy like Dart. Mind you, he's nowhere near as good as Shador Sanders either. At the end of the day, you actually got to be able to play quarterback.
Yep. And like I said, once we drafted our quarterback, I'm done talking about quarterbacks of the future. Like I will not discuss quarterbacks on the timeline anymore. There's no need to. I don't need to look at them. I don't need to watch them.
That's it.
I don't do anything.
Yep. No more of this bullshit for the next year as to who the Giants quarterback in the future is. We know who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Now,
yeah.
the only time I'll look at quarterbacks is if, Dart doesn't do well. And then I got to look at him again. But for right now,
I mean, you're probably looking, no need to look for at least 2 years, probably 3. Because they're not going to draft over no matter what. And Daboll's probably going to be here at least another 2 years. I can see him getting an extension though, as long as it doesn't go really, really badly next year.
Yeah,
but I think we've got the makings of a decent team right now. The only problem is our division is ridiculously good.
Yeah. Well, his contract goes to 26.
Hey guys, we're getting another edge was taken. There might be a little bit of run on edges, which is good for us.
That's on the day, Joe. Yeah.
Which that helps us because we don't need it. We don't technically need another edge, so it keeps D-line up there. So
it does.
We got 13 more picks. 13 more
we
picks.
just need Chicago. I think need to bypass Caleb Johnson, and then it's only Lemon. I think probably Washington that might take him.
So you want to? Who do you want? Who do you want to pick 65? You want Caleb, or who's your pick? You want?
Who's your number one pick?
My number one pick probably would be a defensive tackle, but I'm thinking that we might go offense on the basis of it's the weaker line team now. Plus, obviously, defensive line is very, very deep in this draft.
Yep.
Running back, not so much, but the guy that I really wanted at running back was Quinshon Judkins, and he lasted all of 2 picks after we would have drafted today.
Yeah.
So gone at 36. It was like, that's round about where you figured he'd go.
Yep.
So really annoying, but we got the quarterback. We can't complain about that. No need to worry about that.
No.
So I think offense this time around. I don't really want a guard, so defensive line. Yeah, I could see it going that either. I mean, if Johnson goes, then I'll just take defensive line.
Yeah.
It's better than anything else. So would you guys think of maybe like a left field selection, like a wide receiver?
That's what I said earlier. I said maybe Trey Harris, wide receiver, at pick 65.
Still on the board.
High school quarterback, Darton's college teammate.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. I mean, I'm thinking like real wild cards. Somebody like Savion Williams, who it's just all over the place in terms of his skill set.
Oh,
you can find a way to manufacture touches. The other one that I would look at would be Williams Kyle Williams from Washington State.
Oh, yeah.
You look at that the plays that he makes, runs after the catch and all the rest of it, and the deep balls. Plus, he plays inside and outside. I think that's going to be an important factor if we're going to take someone. But then, to me, it's like, you're basically planning to replace Wandell in a year's time, without a doubt. Which I kind of understand, because like when you look at the wide receivers and the money that they were getting to play slot, you're talking like 15 mil. And that's like way too much.
Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if they take one that's to replace Slayton when his contract's up.
Yeah, but Slayton's got another 3 years. And he's only just got it. There's no way that he's going anywhere. So you replace him this year with someone in 3 years' time.
Did he get a 3-year contract? I thought it was a 2-year.
Yeah, he got 3-year contract.
Okay. Well,
3 years for 86 mil.
Yeah, that's possible.
So, yeah, he's not going anywhere. But it is a case of, you take a guy that can play the outside, because obviously, Neighbours is uncoverable anywhere.
Yep.
So you can mix and match, but obviously you want everybody to play everything, as opposed to a guy that's set on the outside or whatever, especially one side of the field.
Yep.
And obviously some college receivers never actually change where they're playing.
Yep.
I don't think we're going to do that now. I think that's a bit early. Yeah, you never know. When we get to like round 6, round 7, who knows what the hell we're going to take. as long as one of them's a kicker, I definitely think that's coming this year.
You think we're going to draft the kicker?
So 7th round, want to pick 246. The kid
Exactly.
out of Florida State. There you go.
Yeah. We should definitely take a kicker, because obviously, if you take one, you're actually really committing to making it him versus Gano in a proper face-off, as opposed to, we brought in a free agent. Unsurprisingly enough, we took the easy route out and kept it.
Civvy, what do you do though at pick 246, if Shador Sanders is still there and you got the kicker?
Well, you could always bring him in for camp just to see how bad he is.
Truth just giving me a hard time. That's all right, Truth. Let you have your moment. Just remember tonight.
It's good to be the king.
Tonight I am the king. Just remember. Just remember that. So we're gonna bring on. So we're gonna have somebody else join us here for your last couple minutes. We're gonna have my boy Stretch is coming on. So another good football guy to talk football with. So
all right, guys, take care.
No, you're on still. You're on still. Hey, what's up? Oh, he left. I was gonna have you guys together. Serious.
No worries.
What's up, Stretch? How we doing, man?
What's going on, my boy? Man, I'm just sitting here watching the draft.
I know, man. Listen, I'm gonna. I already know ahead of time your thoughts here, but I gotta ask because we're asking everybody tonight. So, in truth, by the way, Stretch, we boys. Yes. He's my guy.
Yep, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah. He's my guy. So, Stretch, share your thoughts. How you feeling after night 1? I know how you initially felt, so you can say how you want, how you feeling now, but how you feeling?
You see my headline down there, right? All right, so let me say this.
Yeah.
Carter was a great pick. Great pick, man. I mean, honestly, probably either 1 or 2 best players in the draft.
Yep.
Jackson Dart.
Oh, he's huffing here. He's breathing hard heavy.
Well, let me preface this by saying Stretch and I both wanted Shador.
Yes.
So
Shador.
All right, so you wanted Shador at 25. You were hoping for that.
So me and Sean, matter of fact, that's how me and Sean met, was over love for Shador Sanders.
Way back.
So we've been on Shador for years now, since he was at Jackson State, honestly.
Yep.
Jackson Dart. Okay, so let me say this. I don't hate the pick anymore. I don't hate it like I used to hate it. Before, I ain't gonna lie. Actually, I'll tell you, I ain't want to hear nothing. I just wanted to go to bed and just put it out my mind. But I don't hate the pick as much anymore. For people thinking that he's going to be Josh Allen 2.0, no. You setting yourself up for failure. He's not that. He doesn't have that type of arm talent. He has some wheels. I give him that. He's tough. Yep. He has some good pocket presence, good pocket strength. I guess that's what they call it now. Yep. Pocket strength. His arm is slightly, right? His arm is slightly above average. That's where I will put it. He's not somebody who's gonna be able to sling it into tight windows all over the field. That's not his game. It's not his game. He does have trouble processing the field. He does. People saying that he doesn't. People saying he does. Me watching his tapes going back, he's not. He'll get to his second read, but getting to his third or fourth read is going to be a chore for him. Hopefully they'll be able to fix it. You know.
Yeah.
I don't hate the pick anymore, but I'm still not in love with it. I don't. If they wanted Jackson, they could have got him in the second round. They literally could have got him in the second round if they wanted him. Nobody was trading up for him.
I think the Rams might have taken him, and I do think Cleveland might have taken him, and possibly New Orleans, because New Orleans took Tyler Shuck. So I think there's a shot they were going to take Dart. Yeah, I know, dude. Trust me, my reaction was the same. I know.
That pick was terrible. I'm sorry. What are the Saints doing? I have no clue.
I know. It's bad. So I'm guessing the video that I sent you when Dayball talked about him, that kind of helped you a little bit more.
It did. And watching, and I went back and watched a couple of videos of them, dapping each other up and about the pick. They look happy. So he got his guy. Yeah. So like you said, we're not going to talk about quarterbacks anymore.
Right.
Their guys in the building. We'll see what happens from there. Am I in love with the pick? No. Will I ever come around? I don't know. Yeah.
Hold on, Truth. You're breaking up, man. Truth, can you hear me?
Yeah. Why do you think the hesitation on Sanders?
His personality.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. His personality. They can't. They don't want to deal with what comes with him. He comes from a very, very colorful family. That is. He comes from a very, very colorful family. His personality is not. He's not one of those who's just going to sit back and be like. He's going to actually question why he's doing certain things, and they don't like that. They want a yes man. They want a yes sir, no sir. That's what they want, and he's not that person.
No. So there was I heard.
Come on.
I heard last night that Dayball gave a homework assignment to both Dart and Shador, and Shador did not do it.
Really?
He was not prepared, is what I heard. I don't know if there's truth to it, but it was from a pretty good source.
Now, let me say this, man. When you're in a job interview, if your future employers ask you to do something, you do it.
He gave him a playbook and have him be prepared for the private workout and private interview. And supposedly he did not prepare with the playbook. Supposedly, again, I don't know if it's true or not, but it would tie into some other things that have been said about him in the other interviews. Which, listen, I doubted things that were said. If that's true, then maybe some of the other things are true too. I agree with the personality. I think is not what people want. I think, and I think Dion. I think his dad. I don't think people want to deal with Dion.
No. And Dion's going to be there. He's his father. You know what I mean? So of course his father, and he's a Hall of Famer. He's been there, done that. So of course he's going to be in his ear, helping him and telling him, the ins and outs of the league. It's a new league, though. It's a new league. His personality flew in the '90s because that's what the league was about. Now, not so much. The NFL has completely changed from what it used to be to what it is now.
Absolutely. By the way, the Chargers just took Trey Harris.
That's what I wanted.
I brought his name up a couple times tonight and pick 65.
Outside of a D tackle, which I think we do need, I wanted Trey Harris just for Dart, familiarity with Dart.
And he was also Malik's high school quarterback.
That's true.
But that's a good point.
I think Wells could be on tap. I know he wasn't a 30 visit, but he's familiar with Dart. So I think he would be next up for as far as wide receivers.
Okay. Wait, who did you say?
Antoine Wells.
Okay, where's he out of? I'm not.
Ole Miss. He played at Ole Miss too. Yep.
Okay. All right.
He was their number 2 receiver behind Trey Harris.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So listen, I know you're, for our listeners, somebody's in the background talking up Sanders right now. Oh man. So listen, I know you're a big Penn State guy, so give our Rush fans a little breakdown on Abdul Carter, man.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Yes, Michael Parsons, he is not. I'm not going to say he is because he's not, but he does have that type of ability.
Okay.
The kid at times looked unstoppable. Think I would say Will Anderson. Like, remember that the season that Will Anderson had last when he played for Bama?
Yep.
That last
Yep.
season he had, how he was damn near unblockable. That's
Yep.
how Abdul Carter was for us this past season and the season before. He made the switch from linebacker to DN. So people got to realize this is only going to be his second year playing edge.
Yep.
Because he was originally our linebacker. He was originally linebacker, but now he's handing the dirt. So he's still learning. He's still learning the nuances of the position.
Right.
But I think he's going to have an impact right away. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up with Defensive Rookie of the Year. If they give him the time that I know he's going to command because of his ability, you can't keep him off the field. He is that type of player. He's a day one plug and play player. He's not going to start. Obviously, we got Burns and we got Tibbs, and Tibbs' 5th-year option just got picked up, so he's going to be here. But I will say that he's going to command some time, and I'm expecting I'll give him about 6 or 7 sacks this season.
6 or 7, okay.
6 or 7 sacks this season. I would say more, but I don't know how Bowen is going to play this defense, man. That's the only thing. Like, I'm not sure on Bowen. I'm not sure on Bowen yet.
I know a lot of people, and I'm going to judge him more harshly this year because it's year 2, right, with the players. But I'm going to go back to they were leading the league in sacks before all the injuries.
That's true.
And they were pretty decent against the thing. So since you brought up Bowen, I'm gonna bring something up. We got a clip here, Stretch. So you get to hear the clip. Bear with me here. Because we have Micah McFadden on. So we'll talk about Bowen and Wink here, and then we'll get back to Carter. Because I got some thoughts on Carter too. So here we go.
What we're all wondering. How does it feel year to year going from Wink's defense to Bowen's defense? What's the major difference? I'm sure, and you don't have to say anything. We're not looking to put you in that spot, but there's got to be a difference between those two systems. And how does it feel going into year 2 with the system? Because I'm sure it's better now you got a year under your belt.
Yeah, without a doubt. Whenever you go, the first year in any scheme is, I don't want to say difficult because you have the offseason, you have training camp to get used to it, understand to get the basics down, but there's still a little bit of training wheels on it. And everybody's kind of figuring it out as they go. Usually the first 4 or 5 games of the season in a new scheme is kind of seeing how the other teams are playing against it and what you're getting from an offense and what's hurting us. But yeah, year 2, usually that's the settling point. That's when everybody feels really comfortable. There's already an understanding going into the offseason, with what we've done in the past year. There's a lot of film to go off of, a lot of correction to make from the year before. Maybe some things, the coaches want to adjust heading into year 2. So it's always helpful to have that first year under the belt. But yeah, Wink, I think it's pretty obvious. He was really aggressive. He had that, there was the scheme was, I came in as a rookie, so it was difficult for me to learn. I think, people who had seen quite a number of defenses in the NFL were able to get a hold of it pretty quick. But, I honestly, I like both of them. But yeah, Wink was really aggressive. It really didn't matter the time or place, but he was trying to put pressure on the quarterback. I'd say Bowen, he still has that in the bag, and there's going to be specific times where he wants to pressure and bring the house or whatnot, but it's a little bit more flow to it and a little bit more coverage, and especially for linebackers. But I really enjoy both schemes, and I enjoy playing in both of them.
Hey, but yo. So I think that's the biggest difference. Was Wink was a blitzer, and we know Wink left us out in the thing, and Bowen's about we're going to get after the quarterback with 4 edge rushers and not need to blitz as much. He can do it if he needs to. So I think year 2 in Bowen's system, we'll see some differences. So I can envision where they're going to use Abdul Carter, and I think he's going to play a lot, and I think they're going to use him like Micah Parsons would use. Would you agree with that, Stretch?
Oh yeah, no, I fully agree. I would actually, you know what? Yes, Micah Parsons late, but I would think Harold Landry. How Harold Landry was in that scheme, that's how I see Abdul Carter in that same scheme. I do think he'll have him dropping back into coverage a little bit, but most of the time it's going to be ping your ear back, go get the quarterback.
Okay. I'm kind of wondering. I'm wondering. I could see him like being on the inside, in the middle, and early downs maybe. to have that extra speed there, and then line him up on the edge, outside linebacker. It's going to be curious. Whatever they're going to do, you don't take him at 3 and not play him a lot. Like they're going to play him.
Yeah.
I
He's
see
going to
them
play.
playing him inside and outside.
I can see him. I can see him lining up over some D tackles, and like we talked about this before, Sean. The NASCAR package.
Yeah,
I can see that NASCAR package coming back.
Slide Tibbs down to DN, so
Yep.
he doesn't have to think as much. He's just got to go after it.
Just
He's
gotta
too
go.
analytical. He's more, just be athletic. I
Yep.
could say. I know they say he's undersized, but I think he could do it there. I mean, it's what he was a 4-3 DN at Oregon. Like
He was a 4-3 DN at Oregon.
I know, but that wasn't against men.
Oh, geez, here we go. There we go.
I mean, it's
I'm
true,
gonna
but
tell you.
listen, he's
I
stronger
don't
than what he
think
was
he can
before
handle
too,
a
though.
big body on him all game long. I don't think he can
It
handle a
wouldn't
big
be all
body
game
on
though.
him.
It wouldn't be all game though. It'd be situational.
No?
You can line him up in a
what
5
would you do
technique.
with him?
With Tibbs, I would keep Tibbs. I mean, they picked up his 5th-year option for a reason. I wouldn't get rid of him. He's still a good player.
No, I
mean, he
wouldn't
just had
either.
11 and a half sacks.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know what I mean? He just had 11 and a half sacks. Like that's not anything to sneeze at. So he's still a good
Right.
player, and he's going to be here for a couple of years. Again,
I would leave him the way he is. Let him play the way he is, and you take Carter and move him around. Carter is more talented. He can do it.
Carter played linebacker at Penn State, so he can play the linebacker position. Like I said, they'll have 3 down, and I think they'll put Tibbs, hand in the dirt at an end, and then they'll have Carter coming off the edge as a linebacker.
Yeah,
as that strong side linebacker. So they can line up both on one side, but they can literally line Carter up anywhere in that front 7 because he's played. You know what I mean? Like I said, this will only be his 2nd year playing edge, hand in the dirt edge, but before that he was a linebacker. So they can line him up everywhere, and he's going to beat a lot of people. He's going to beat a lot of people. His speed, his first step is stupid. Like it doesn't even make
bend. How about bend, huh?
Yeah,
bend.
Yeah, it's bend his first step. And listen, Tibbs is bigger than people realize too. Like when you look at
put on weight.
He is definitely bigger
How
than
big
people.
is?
I think
he's 6'5", 260.
6'5", 255, 255, 260, something like that.
258, I think. 258, I think.
Yeah, he up there now. He put on a lot more weight than what he.
So I think he can handle it. And the reason I think he's better at the end is he's way too analytical. You put him at outside linebacker, you got to think, you got to drop in coverage. Like I think his athleticism gets taken out of the equation because he's thinking too much. Whereas
Kayvon?
Kayvon.
Kayvon could drop in. He showed he could drop in the coverage.
He can. I do, but I think he thinks too much. And so I think if you have him where he doesn't have to think, because we know how analytical he is. We see him off the field, how we talk.
Okay.
He's very analytical. That's
so
my thought.
Put his hand in the dirt. You put his hand in the dirt.
It's like 260, 265 is what Mark said.
Okay, yeah. So he's got the weight on him now.
And he's 6'5", so he could do it. And again, if you line up, you can line him up in the 5 technique and then line up Carter on the 7 technique, right? You can do that. It's the same difference. It's really the same thing. We're not talking about lining them up.
NASCAR. It's not an everyday thing. It's not like an every play thing. This is a specific package.
Yeah. Yeah, it needs to be. I would like them to see traditional 3-4, run a traditional, old school traditional 3-4, and I think he could do it. I definitely think.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Stretch saying on packages, you're saying a traditional 3-4. Leave him at with his hand in the dirt on every play. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying packages, but I'm also saying if they went to a traditional 3-4, I think he could handle DN at the 3-4. I do. I think he could do it.
So if they do it, we'll see. I think he can, but we'll see.
Yeah. I think he can. Because I think, again, when you're playing outside linebacker in that 3-4, he's got to think too much. Am I dropping? Am I not? Like, who's in coverage? Who's that? I think if you just line up his hand in the dirt and all he's got to do is go after it, it takes that thinking out of it. Again, that's my thought. Guys that are analytical take the athleticism out of it. Now, is he going to not have a motor all the time? Sure, but he has to think a lot more at outside linebacker than he does at the end. That's my thought.
True.
Will they do it? I don't think so. It's just a unique thought now to utilize having Carter here too and get the best out of it. But it's year 4 for Tibbs, so I think now is the year that he really grows into that next thing. So, so who Stretch? Who do you want him to bring on? Who do you want him to pick at 65 tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna go outside the box, and I'm gonna say Ollie Gordon the second. I think he would be a good change of pace back to Tracy.
Okay.
I like Ollie Gordon. Yeah, I know he didn't have a good year last year, but the year before he was the best running back in the country. And I think he still has that type of ability.
He's certainly good.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, and he's a big body too. What 6'2", 6'2", something. And yeah, he reminds me of a little bit of Le'Veon Bell. That's what he kind of reminds me of. He don't really have the hesitation that Le'Veon did, but his running style, the way he runs. But I think Ollie would fit well in this system. A little 1-2 punch with 1-2-3 because we still got Devin here. But him, Tracy, Devin, Tracy, and Ollie, I think that's a good backfield.
I mean, I still think. I mean, as of right now, Caleb Johnson's still out there. I think that's not a bad pick either. At 65,
and we got his coach. We got Caleb's coach here, so
we do.
He could very well be the pick. I don't know. I like the bigger back.
We're at
yeah.
What pick are we at now? I got
pick 58. The Raiders are on right now.
So we got 7 more picks.
We're close.
Yeah,
we're close.
7 more picks. I'm gonna Nick. I know you're backstage, man. I'm gonna bring on in just a couple minutes. We have some guys that may not show up, so I may keep both of you guys on until the pick comes in, since we had some no shows. So depending,
the Raiders just took Ratledge from Georgia.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. They just took Tate.
Oh, Ratledge. They got Ratledge.
Ratledge from Georgia, the old offensive guard. That's a good pick. That's a real good
pick. Let me bring Nick on, and then because again that pick's coming up soon. So if we can get enough guys on, we'll have multiple guys on for that pick. Since you guys are the late guys, you luck out. Nick's early though, but Nick's early, so we'll make it happen with Nick. All right, Nick, we're gonna bring you on now. Here we go.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's going on? He's on Coughlin time. He's early, real early.
I don't want to get fined. I don't want to.
The Raiders. Oh my God, dude! The Raiders took Jack Besh.
That's your boy. That's your boy.
Him and Brock Bowers together is going to be really fun to watch.
There's still a lot of good wide receivers still on the board, though. Like you got Jalen Royals is still on the board. Kyle Williams still on the board.
Is Trey Harris taken yet?
Trey Harris.
Yeah, he went to the Chargers.
Okay.
That's when you had to leave, Truth, with your technical difficulties.
Yeah, Trey Harris went.
He went. Yeah. So Nick, how you feeling last night after the picks last night?
Well,
how you feeling?
To tell you the truth, I wanted Carter.
Okay.
I think he's going to be that generational talent that this team needs. They need that guy who's going to go out there, give 110% all the time, and I think he'll complement what's going on with the defense. Now, I hope they use him right. Could they get that kind of pivotal? You need somebody to complement Dexter Lawrence. So, like you guys, I heard you guys talking before about playing a 3-4. You still got to get that other, I want to say a 3 technique kind of guy. You know, I don't know who's left on the board. Is Kenneth Grant from Michigan off the board?
He's gone.
He's long gone, right?
Yeah, long gone.
Darius Alexander and Joshua Fulm are probably the 2 best ones that you're looking at.
That are left.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think they need to get a D tackle.
Well, you got Shamar Turner from Texas A&M still on the board.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Yep, Shamar Turner.
Is he considered D-line or edge?
No, he's considered because he's an undersized. He was an undersized.
But then he could be like a Justin Tuck. Can he play both?
He might. Yeah, he can play both.
That's what I'm saying.
He can play both.
He can line up over the guard or outside shoulder, or he can line up at end. You know, you need that kind of versatility if you got Carter and Burns on one side and Kayvon too. Kayvon's a little bigger. He might be able to line up over the guard.
We just said that too.
You know what I'm saying? I must have missed it. Guys.
No, you're good, man. Listen, we're all saying the same thing. We're on the same page. You know,
Sean like that one.
Listen, my pick is my. If Derek Alexander's there, that's the guy I'm going to go after.
Yeah.
Listen, I can look at running back, but what he did at the Senior Bowl, Alexander is like, I think you put him with Dex and Colston on that D line, and oh man, let me tell you what.
No,
And
I like
you
it.
did it with Andre Patterson to develop him up. Let me tell you, that's a nasty defense.
Is there any like interior lineman that jumps off at you that's still left, where we can get like a guard / center type of guy?
Jack Nelson
from
Jack Nelson from Wisconsin.
I had Jack Nelson on here, on my thing, but I like
Jake
teams.
Majors.
What about Luke Kendra? What about Luke Kendra out of Cincinnati?
See, I haven't watched much tape on him. I haven't watched much tape on him, so I got to go check him out.
Yeah, he's probably.
I'm not going no line in the third round.
Probably day 5, round 5.
Yeah, I'm not going no
Think
line.
so late that late pick up somebody. I still think they need like an extra interior O lineman. Like they need that guy who could play both guard and center. Not
Jake
just
Majors. Jake Majors would be perfect.
That's true.
Is he a primary center?
Well, no, he played every position on that O line.
Okay.
Well, I mean, GVR is that guard center guy.
What about Marcus Bowe? Marcus Bowe from Purdue. He's still there on the board.
Yeah, is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was still on the board.
Yeah.
Is Tate
Cameron Williams
Ratledge from Georgia still on the board?
Say it again, Nick.
Tate Ratledge.
No, he just
Georgia.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone, man. You know what? I coach varsity girls softball. I was at the game. I didn't see hardly any of the draft. I just got home and I jumped right on the computer to get in with you guys. So
yeah, no,
at least we won. So I'm good.
Yeah, Ratley just won a few picks ago.
Oh, okay.
I missed a couple.
I like those Georgia linemen. I always have. I like Georgia linemen. So I think they always transition well into the NFL game.
Agreed.
So that's why I was hoping like he was still up on the board, Well, we're at 59. We're not too many picks away.
No, I was saying we're gonna keep you guys on like to have this pick because we want multiple people on for the pick. So it's been a night. Like, listen, I'm happy. Like we got 2 first rounders, but man, like we're doing a draft show and there ain't no picks.
Yeah, it's a long wait.
For a pick, man.
It was funny when I saw the trade. When I saw the trade yesterday, I was like, "What are we going to talk about?"
And listen,
what pick are we going to have?
Right? If the other guy who's supposed to come on too, all you guys are going to be on. I don't care. Like listen.
That's all right.
That's good to me.
Tonight, where is it? Tonight.
It's good to be the king.
That's me tonight. So yeah,
You're in charge. You're in charge. I got it. You're in charge.
If the other guy comes on, all of us are going to be in here for the pick because we want to have reactions. We need a reaction, right?
Where are we at? 59.
59. The pick is
59.
in. Pick is in for the Ravens.
What feed are you watching? NFL? I can't stand ESPN anymore. You
I got NFL Network.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got NFL Network. So we'll see. Yeah, listen, it's a draft show. We got to have reactions. We can't have like nobody on when the pick is made. So we appreciate you guys. So you guys, like I said, you guys were the late crew. So we get to take advantage of that for you guys.
You Stretch. You were talking about a running back before. What do you think? Do we need that guy that could play like third down, or do we need a guy that could play like run tackle to tackle?
Like I said before, they said Caleb Johnson, which would be a good pick because we have his running back. But I like Ollie Gordon the second. I think he's a big back, big body. He can run between the tackles. He can run outside the tackles. He can spell Tracy. That'd be a great 1-2 punch in the backfield, in my opinion. I know he didn't have a good year last year. It was a down year for him. But the year before, he was the best running back in the nation. It wasn't even close.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Who was that?
Ollie Gordon the second.
Yeah. Okay.
He carried that OSU offense.
Yeah, he did. Yes, their quarterback was bad.
Oh, he is garbage. Garbage.
Really bad.
I think he's still there, as a matter of fact. I want to say he's still there.
Yeah. Anderson. What Anderson? What Anderson? Craig's throwing out names. I don't even know the names he's throwing out.
Anderson?
What Anderson?
Well, Travion Henderson from
He
Ohio
already
State,
left. He already
he's gone.
went.
He's got to be gone, right?
Yep. Travion Henderson went already.
Yeah, he's gone. Judkins gone.
Judkins went too.
And so it's just Alec Gordon and Caleb Johnson left as a good running backs, right?
Kid Hampton from North Carolina has got to be gone.
Yeah, he went the first round.
He went first round.
Yeah.
You got Gordon, you got Johnson, you have who? No, there's still quite a few running back. Cam Scatterboo's still on the board.
Really?
Yeah, Scatterboo's still on the board.
I thought he'd be one of those. I'm going to take a shot. Well, you know what? The third round's coming up, so somebody might take a shot on him on the third round.
I don't see him going to the fourth, honestly.
I think he's a fourth round guy too.
He gets so much press. You know what I'm saying?
That 4.7 is going to scare a lot of people off.
Yeah,
but he's more game speed. That's
he is. He is. But
he's
there's
fast.
a lot of teams.
4.7.
There's a lot of teams who they that 40 time they.
Well, if you're Caucasian and run a 4.7, it's going to scare a lot of people off. Let's be real. That's what I ran in college 30 years ago. So actually, I was 4.67 in college, and that was fast. That was fast. Don't let it fool you. Back then, 30 years ago, 4.67 was fast for a Caucasian running back. Baltimore took Mike Green. That's a good pick for them.
Mike Green was still on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had him like third on my list as edge guy.
Yeah, he was. I had him third too.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, he went. I thought he was going to go first round. I really did after his season.
So did I. Didn't he get I thought he got a guarantee from somebody. That's why he didn't continue practicing at the Senior Bowl.
I thought, but who knows, man? Like I'm really shocked he dropped as far as he did.
Hey, look at that. 17 sacks in 2024.
Yeah, and he dominated against really good competition at the Senior Bowl.
He went crazy at the Senior Bowl.
He made Josh Cornley look bad. They're showing his highlight now from the Senior Bowl. Like he just leveled that dude. He leveled Cornley. Look at the first round. He just leveled. You saw that? Like
he stopped. That was his last play at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, he just
After
knocked him on his ass. By the way, Nick. What year is that shirt from? Because that looks old school. That's a classic, man. Oh, it's not.
So you laugh. I came home. I got out of my stuff and I opened up my closet. This happened to be on the top of the pile. I don't even remember when I got it. So I just put it on. I went, I got to put a Giant shirt on. And then my wife yelled at me. She goes, "How come I'm not wearing a Giant Rush shirt?"
You want to talk old school? We got this Tecmo Bowl going tonight.
She said, "Where's your Giant Rush shirt? You have like 3 of them. Why aren't you wearing one?" I was like, "You're right."
Yeah, Nick, what are you doing, man?
I don't know.
Well, go change real quick. You're going to be on till the end. Go change real quick. Let's go. Your wife knows what she's talking about.
That's a good woman right there.
Right? Right?
The fact that she actually knew what Giant Rush was.
Yeah. God bless
We
you.
actually met. We went to preseason, fan fest thing, and we met Mike. We met a bunch of guys there at the time. We had a good time with them. So,
True stepped off.
met Chris. Met a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Mike.
They're picking real quick now, guys, huh? They're not even waiting for 5 minutes.
We are. We got my schedule here. I got names showing up that weren't on my list, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But I'm gonna bring somebody else in. Like I said, we got 5 picks to go. We're all gonna be in this together tonight. So
gotcha.
We're gonna get quite the reaction.
RJ Harvey, Broncos.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy. One of my boys, he's a Cowboys fan. He was hoping they was going to get RJ Harvey. He's going to be highly disappointed.
Oh, is that the one boy that I know? One of your boys?
No, not that. This is another one. Actually, no. You've interacted with him though.
Okay, all right.
P. Willikin on Twitter is his handle.
Have I had? Oh, I don't remember. Wow, maybe I have. Okay. You got too many Cowboys fans, man. What the heck?
Man, you know what? Hey, listen. I was in the military for a while. Listen, I was in the military for a while, and a lot of my friends, I got a lot of friends that are Cowboys fans.
Yeah. Well,
we like to talk mess, so.
Yeah. Well, we got Matt. If you can hear me back there, I don't see your video, but if you put your video on, man, we'll bring you on. And we'll all because 61's coming in, so we're close. So like I said, we're gonna get a reaction here. It's a reaction. It's fan appreciation and reaction. So we got to have people on to get a reaction. All right. So Matt, I don't know if you can hear me back there, but we don't have no video from you. So turn your video on, my man. We'll get you on. Well, yeah. All right, Commanders. Who's the Redskins taking?
They picked the cornerback. Trey Amos out of
They
Ole
got
Miss.
offensive tackle in the first round, right? They got Josh Connell in the first round.
And then they got Trey Amos. That's a good pick. Trey Amos was thought to be one of the top DBs.
Yeah, DB slid. We knew something was going to slide.
Siobhan Rebel Jr. is still on the board. I know that injury hurt him, but he's a really good player.
But
I know.
Mike, what was this draft real heavy in? Was it still D tackle, O tackle, and running backs? Is that still the
D tackle and running backs are the
running
deep.
backs? Yep.
Yeah, D tackles and running backs are the deep classes this year. You can get a good running back late and get a good D tackle late, honestly.
Hey, let me throw some at you guys. You just mentioned something, Stretch. If that cornerback is still there at 105, Reverend, you're taking him, right?
Yeah, I'm taking him. If Will Johnson was still there at 65, I honestly thought about
Will Johnson's not off the board?
No, he's gone now.
I was going to say, you guys got
But
me
if he was
nervous.
still there at 65, I would have thought about taking him.
Yeah, I mean, can't believe he went that long.
His knee, they said his knee, he has a degenerative issue in his knee. And he's not going to play that long. Somewhere along the lines of Caleb Farley.
Who's that? Will Johnson? You're talking about?
Yeah, Will Johnson.
Okay. That makes sense why he slid. Bears pick is in, so we're getting closer, guys. We're getting closer.
They're moving fast.
I think are we all in agreement? We want like a Darius Alexander. Is that who we like?
I'm good with Darius. Yep, I'm good with Darius.
Yeah.
Darius or running back.
Yeah.
I don't think they take a running back in the third, but I wouldn't be surprised if they took one in the third.
So I got two questions. Two things real quick, but before it goes in. So Nick, I'm gonna start with you. Who do you think the pick is at 65?
I think it's going to be a D tackle.
Okay.
I really do. Like I said, I haven't been following because I've been doing something else today, so I don't know who's on the board.
That's fine, but you just pick the position. Okay.
So I'm just going to pick the position. I want to know, is Talik Williams from Ohio State still around? He's gone. I mean, all the guys I have.
He went late in the first round, actually.
Yeah, Williams
He
went
did?
first
He
round.
went that early?
Yeah.
I had him at like 4 or 5 out of the D tackles.
Yeah,
I
you
had
were
him-
right.
I had him second
he
round.
was he was the fifth one.
Yeah.
Taken.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had him second round.
5 defensive tackles went in round 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Stretch. Who do you think? Position? You can get position if you want. What do you think? At 65.
I'm going D tackle, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was running back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Especially
I
if
think you're right.
Johnson's there, right? Right, Stretch? If Khalid
said-
Johnson's there, you're not going to be shocked.
Caleb Johnson is still there. So is Ollie Gordon. Yep. So
So it's either
RJ
gonna be
Harvey's
one
the
of
only
those
running back
two.
that's been gone.
So you're thinking one of those two, Johnson or Alexander.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with you.
Gordon, Johnson, or Alexander.
Yep, that's who I'm thinking as well. Maybe Farmer. One
Maybe.
of those four.
I forgot about Farmer. Farmer's still on the board too. They like Farmer. They like Farmer a lot.
All those guys were top 30 visits, so it's going to be a top 30 visit guy, no doubt about it.
But a lot of people don't realize they like to draft from their top 30 visits.
They do. It's like 40%, which is higher now because they took 2 guys last night. So it's like 12 guys in 4 years that they've taken from the top 30.
From the top
Okay, my
30.
next question before the pick comes in. Is Deontay Banks a smart guy? Did he take number 2 knowing that either Shador or Jackson Dart was going to get
They
drafted?
must have told him. There's no way they didn't tell him.
Make more money? Is he going to give up number 2 again?
No.
Or is Jackson Dart going to wear 12?
Jackson Dart's going to wear 12. He's not giving up 2.
All right. What do you think, Nick?
I'm not big on numbers. I really am not. But it would be nice to see him in 12, though. Because look at all the quarterbacks the Giants have had. 11, 10, Even Gifford, 16. Was there ever really a 12 out there?
Not
That was
good.
a good giant
Not
quarterback.
in, yeah,
Well,
not
wasn't
in-
Scott
That's what
Bruner?
I'm saying.
Wasn't
Bruner
Scott
was-
Bruner number
Scott
12?
Bruner with 12.
Scott Bruner, thanks. Appreciate that one.
Yeah. So I'm not big. Listen, if I'm Deontay Banks, I'm collecting money, man. like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
saying,
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting. Listen, I'm
Wasn't
not,
it
he's
what-
not tied
what-
to number 2. He's not tied to number 2. I'm taking the money. Pay me. Show me the money.
Was it Plaxico Burress that paid Fiegels
Fiegels.
to have his backyard redone so he can have the number?
Yep.
Yep. Banks is he's a businessman.
I got a question. What you guys thoughts on Abdul Carter trying to get 56?
No,
I think that's
No.
smoke. I just think that's smoke.
I don't think he wanted to do that.
I think that's
I think
smoke.
he's paying respect to
That was Mika Parsons baiting him.
Yeah. I'm not on board with it either.
Yeah,
Some
of
numbers,
course.
I just don't think some numbers should be touched. And in 56, 92,
Never.
10, I think those are some of the numbers that just shouldn't be touched at all. Even
You know,
11,
there's-
11 with Sims. I just don't. I don't think those numbers should be touched. I just don't.
So
I'm not with it.
there's guys that have been around forever. Like everybody always says, how long you been a Giant fan? And I always say the first game I ever went to was in '74 at the Yale Bowl. So
I get you,
that's how long
Big.
I've been around. So when I see people say this number, I was like, no, you can't give 11. You can't give 56. You can't give
92 and 10. I just don't.
I still get pissed off when I see guys with 53 because Harry
Yeah.
Carson was my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Banks said he will be okay with 58.
So
Banks
here's
is the nicest person in the world, though. You know, you guys know that.
Here's a thought.
Doesn't Okirike wear 58?
Yeah, Karake wears 58.
That's right. Karake does wear 58.
Here's my out of the box thought for Micah Parsons. Number 70.
But
Shamar
he wear
Turner.
70 though.
Shamar Turner got picked by the Bears.
That's a good
So
point. Here's what I'm saying. I know it was Leonard Marshall, but think back to another.
Also, Sam Huff.
Sam Huff.
Yes. You stole my thunder, Nick.
Also, Sam Huff.
I was doing the build up, Nick. I was doing the build up. Good God, who let this guy on the show? Actually, Nick, you did it last year too. You were the late guy last year too.
Yeah, I was one of the late guys last year.
Yes.
I made a comment that I'm like Mr. Irrelevant. I'm the last guy in the draft.
Yeah. See, all right, Nick's good. Yeah. So, but Sam Huff, 70. That would be, you want to honor a giant legend linebacker.
Oh yeah.
Number 70 would be pretty cool. Be pretty cool, I think.
Will he? But will he though? I think he really wants 56 or 11.
Phil. Some people might disagree, but I think Phil Simms would let him wear number 11.
D tackle got picked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Turner.
Pick 63. Am I looking at that right?
Yeah, pick 63. Omar
63. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there.
Guys, we're going to get one of those guys right now. We're going to get one of them. Right? We're going to get 3 picks, right? We're going to get at least one of those guys that we mentioned.
Oh, man.
Oh, Chiefs took Omar Norman Lott. I'm surprised they didn't take Alexander Farmer. Okay.
Yo, is Alexander falling? Shamar Turner's issue was he had some off the field and on the field issues.
Who's that?
Shamar Turner from Texas A&M.
Yeah, right. I'm surprised that they would take it before Farmer or
Norman Lott too,
Alexander.
though. I didn't have Norman Lott going before the 4th.
He fits what Kansas City does. Like he
A
really
little,
does.
little undersized, right? He's a little undersized.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's a Spag. That seems like a Spags pick. I mean, it really does.
Yeah. Spags like a little more athletic interior lineman.
He does. That's true.
All right.
Oh,
Here's our
Eagles
run.
next.
Here's another mini run of defensive tackles coming right
Yeah.
here.
So I think it's going to end up being defensive tackle then.
Yeah, it's got to be unless all the good ones are gone. But I agree, you can't wait. You got to take them. They'll play the board.
If they don't play a D tackle, I'm
Watch the guard on Eagles take Alexander right now.
Hey, Truth, what did I tell you about saying stuff about the Eagles and what they're going to do?
They're going to replace Milton Williams. That's what they're going to do.
Spartan did the same crap last year too. All year, watch the Eagles do this, and it shit happened. Dude, I told you.
I can't help it. I can't help it. It's a gift.
Oh, it's a gift. Man, if I was there, let me.
What do the Eagles need though?
Hold on, because this is what
Here's the fireworks. There won't be any fireworks. And here we go.
Yeah, that's what Truth, your comment just brought out of me right there, man. Stop talking about the Eagles.
Didn't they lose two of their defensive players?
Well, they took they did. They took Jihad Campbell in the first round.
Yeah.
So, and what Kansas City traded with him. Why would you trade? Why would you trade with the Eagles?
Hey, that was a good pick.
I swear to God, Truth. Listen, Truth, I'm telling you right now.
He Campbell's a good player.
Yeah, Campbell is a really good player.
Truth, I'm telling you right now, with all respect, if the Eagles take Alexander, I'm putting you in the back room.
I hope they don't take Alexander.
I am putting you in the back room for at least 2 minutes.
I think they might go DB.
Time out for 2 minutes.
I can't help if I have this gift.
They could go DB.
No, they won't go DB again, would they? After doing that last year?
Yeah, last year.
I would say D-line because, again, Jihad Campbell's not D-line. So
right, they lost two guys this year.
I think D-line, but who knows? They could go running back.
You really think they're going to go?
That's something Giants could do.
That was quite the joke.
I mean, I know we all love the draft, but you know what my favorite time is? When the draft is over and they call the unrestricted.
UDFA.
Oh, yeah.
I love that part of this
Yeah.
whole deal to see who they pick up with that.
There's going to be some interesting pickups, you think about, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee we're going to see some interesting guys.
I mean, we got a couple of UDFAs on the roster.
Yeah.
We do. Elijah Chapman, Jake Kubis.
Yep. Jordan Riley.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, let's talk about Elijah Chapman. He had a very impressive rookie year, didn't he?
Hey, listen. I know we're talking about defensive tackle and that we might need defensive tackle, but I think they have some DTs on the roster that they like.
They do.
They brought in a couple guys too. I said it earlier. Ledbetter out of Jacksonville is going to be a surprise. I think he's going to be better than people think, and I think when you get him with Andre Patterson, he's going to be good. And then Poston.
Right.
So,
and then Chapman, another year for Chapman. So
Chapman reminds me of a Burt Light.
Jim Burt Light, yeah,
Jim Burt Light. Like he's got that power to play in the middle, but he's not big of stature or anything like that.
He can run a little bit better though, just a smidge.
Yeah. I think he's even better this year. I think that's a guy. Yeah. All right, the Eagles pick. They're on the guys on the stage. Some guy with a head of hair. Holy cow! Who's this dude?
Andrew Makuba out of Texas. He's pretty good.
They got the safety out of Texas. Oh, that's. I told you it was a little deep back.
Nick, you're ahead of us. Nick, you're ahead of us, so you can't.
Oh, I'm sorry, but my feed is a little early.
Yeah. So here's the rule.
Nick, you can't say anything when the Giants pick. Just
okay. I won't say a word. I'll just watch your faces.
I'm going to watch your face. That's what I'm going to do.
Did I not call it?
Here's the rule. Truth, you can't say nothing. Nobody. I'm announcing the pick for the Giants because
you got it.
Because tonight
it's good to be the king.
Here's the guy, Andrew Makuba. He could take Blankenship's job from him on Philadelphia.
Yeah,
he can play. Makuba can play anywhere in the secondary.
He's a good player.
I hate the.
But hey, listen. Did I not call it? Did I not say defensive back?
You did call it.
You said you did say that.
I'm just glad it proved Truth wrong. I'm so glad. Listen, Truth, you would have been in the green room.
I did not know Makuba was still on the board.
All right. Let's hope they do pick someone we want.
Listen, Truth, who's announcing the pick for the Giants tonight?
You are. Go ahead.
All right.
I'll give it to you.
It's in.
All right.
I'll let you have
Nick,
it.
reminder, Nick, don't
I'm
give
not saying a word.
away. You're my guy, but don't give nothing away.
I'm not saying a word.
I might have to mute you.
Nick does not have a poker face. I can tell you right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute.
I can tell.
Listen, when it says the pick is in, I'm muting Nick.
I'm gonna just look at his face.
I am not taking any chances.
He's gonna give it away.
In fact, I'm muting all y'all. Oh, see, you get to the end of the night. This is when the fun happens. Look at this.
Yeah.
See that? Fan
Oh, we waited
appreciation.
3.5 hours for this, Shawnee. 3.5
The pick
hours.
is in. The pick is in.
That was quick, though. If you think about that, that's quick.
All right. Everybody look at Nick's face.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Nick, I swear, man, if you give it away,
I swear,
give it away.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm watching.
We are closing the show with the Giants pick. That is a way to end the show. Wow, let me tell you. Look at that. All right, we got the armed forces out there.
Uh-oh, I saw it, Nick.
Hey,
I don't think Nick likes it.
Listen, quiet. That's it.
He
Y'all are
tilted
getting,
his head. I saw it.
y'all are getting muted. Everyone's getting muted. You're getting muted until I see the pick. Guys, give everything away. Yeah, see? I love y'all, but y'all are muted. Truth can't help himself. He's just going to say shit. All right, come on. Let's go. Let's go. All right, wait. All right, you guys can unmute for a second. They're singing Lee Greenwood song, God Bless USA. So we got a minute.
My daughter's upstairs screaming, "Will you just pick? Put it up!" She's screaming.
Let's see here. And nobody in the chat give it away either. In fact, I got to get rid of the comments so I can't.
Well,
see
you
it.
know,
now.
is
Yeah,
real
Cole-
Cole still in here? He's
Yeah,
quick.
if Cole's in there, he's going to give it away.
Mark
Yeah,
Thompson's quick too, Shawnee.
Yeah.
Thompson's
Well,
quick.
listen, none of y'all read the comment section. I got rid of the
Whoa,
comments.
Jason
I can't see them.
Sehorn.
Oh yeah, he's
They
announced.
did say Sehorn was going to announce the pick.
He was supposed to. Yeah, he was supposed to announce the second and third round. So he got screwed.
He got wait around. He had to wait around.
So listen, as soon as Sehorn comes on stage, everybody's getting muted. As soon as I see him on stage. You guys are the best. I got to tell you, you guys are the best. We have the best.
This is a good one.
We have the best bands. All right, he's on stage. All right, y'all getting muted.
All right.
No offense. All right, let's go. Sehorn, announce the pick. Yes! Yes! I called it! Absolutely called it.
Who is it?
It's Darius Alexander.
Well,
Good
say
call.
it. You didn't say it now. Say it.
That's
what we
Darius
wanted, boys.
Alexander. I freaking called
Good
it.
call. Good pick.
That's what we
Good call.
Called it.
wanted.
I said it weeks ago. Go back in the
Oh my
timeline.
God.
Yep.
I want Darius Alexander to
We
the
both said
Giants.
it. Come on. I
Yeah,
love
That's
the
a
pick.
good, hey, that's a good pick.
I love
That's
the
a good
pick.
pick.
That's a great pick.
You know what?
That's a great pick.
That's a solid pick. You know what I mean?
Watch
Like-
this highlights right here. Do that first step.
And he's another top 30 visit.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Yes.
Good pick. Good pick.
Yes.
He's going to be that lunch pail type of guy that like Bill Parcells used to talk about.
Oh, look.
He's going to be there every day.
Yep.
Beating people up in the whole bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look,
Look, everybody in the comments saying we all call. No, I'm not talking about tonight calling it. I said weeks ago, Darius Alexander was the guy for the Giants. That's what I'm saying.
Wow. Casey picked quick.
Well, yes, we all said D tackle tonight. We absolutely all said D tackle in the third round. Correct.
And I think we all picked Alexander too.
I think we all did say it. We all did say it tonight. Absolutely. I give everybody credit tonight. So, man, we feeling good, guys. We feeling good.
Hey,
You know
good
what?
pick.
Good dress,
Hey,
guys.
good pick.
Good dress.
You know, I'm a firm believer in the draft doesn't mean anything until 3 to 5 years from now. But I think this team is doing okay right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Nick and Stretch, I want you guys to give your final thoughts. Nick, I'll start with you, man. Tell me what you think about the Giants' upcoming season, and any final thoughts you want to give on the Giants.
The only problem I have is they got to play, obviously, the NFC East.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're playing the AFC West, right? And they're playing the NFC North, right? They got a tough road to hoe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just even if they had a really good team, that could only mean like 8 wins if they had a really good team. But I'm an optimistic kind of guy, and I believe in on any given Sunday. I still think this team can win 8 games. And I think this draft is going to help them out a lot.
It's a start. Yep.
Stretch, how about you? Final thoughts?
Our defense is going to be a lot better.
We got identity now, right, man?
Our defense is looking disgustingly fierce.
Yes.
Does anybody mind winning a game 14-13? Because I don't.
No, I don't.
Just win. That's what I'm saying.
Old school grind out games.
Yep.
So our defense is looking really, really good. Our offense remains to be seen. I think we will take the next step with another year in the system. I think Russ is a better QB than what we've had. Even Winston.
Yep.
Dart, he's going to be sitting for a little bit.
Yep.
So we'll see, though. Offense, we'll see. Defense, I'm expecting this to be a top 5 defense this year.
Okay.
I think a lot of turnovers, this defense.
Yeah.
Like what takeaways,
a lot of sacks.
A lot of takeaways for this.
A lot of sacks. This defense.
A lot of sacks.
Yeah.
A lot of sacks this defense. We should lead the league in sacks if we stay healthy. That's the big thing. We got to stay healthy, man.
Yep. Agreed.
Yep.
That's a good pick by KC. Ashton Gillette from KC is a good pick.
That's a good pick. And there's more depth now, too. So, all right. Yeah. Last thing I'm going to have you guys let you guys leave us with before you guys head out. Starts. I'll ask you first. What position do you think they go in round 4?
Wide receiver. No. Running back or wide receiver, but running back. Ollie Gordon or Caleb Johnson.
Offensive side of the ball. Absolutely.
Yep. Nick, how about you? What do you think they do in round 4?
If they don't get a running back, I want to see an interior lineman.
Okay, O-line.
Like a guard center type of player.
Gotcha.
That's what I want to see. I want to see
build the trenches.
All of us, I think all of us are old school. We would like to build a team from the inside out.
Build the trenches.
And I think you got to get that interior lineman.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Nick, Stretch, we appreciate you guys hanging out.
Pleasure.
Thank you for having me, man.
You guys made it fun. We appreciate you. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you later.
Take it easy, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Stay well, Nick. Stay well.
All right, we get to close it out, man. So, give me your thoughts real quick. How you like the pick with Alexander?
I love it. We talked about him almost all night. That was the guy we thought that may be there and hoped he would be there. And thank goodness there was a little bit of run before the pick, and they picked the other guys, Turner and Norman Lott. Thank goodness, because I think Alexander's better than both of them. So.
I agree. And it was a top 30 visit. So
again,
don't be surprised if another top 30 visit guys go, with the 4th round. Who do you think? What do you think? What position in the 4th round do you think?
That's a tough position. I mean, I want to see offensive side of the ball now because and like the guys are saying, I'd be happy. I really would be happy if it was either running back, wide receiver, or lineman. It doesn't matter to me. They got to just keep it going, improving. I'm sure they'll pick the best player available from those positions. That's my guess.
Yep. I think running back in the 4th round. I really do. You visited with too many.
4 more picks, right? 5 picks from now, really, right? 5-6 picks, really, right? 105.
Is that what they get there?
No, I'm saying when they. Yeah, I'm saying after today. Round 4, it'll only be 5 picks in. That's it.
Yeah. So depending on who goes the rest of this round, but I think the first 3 picks, we know what they do on the field, but between last year's draft and this year's draft, I think they've been knocking it out of the ballpark.
They have.
I like the picks a lot. So they got the defense much better. You got guys on there. The offense was, again, you upgraded the quarterback room. You brought guys back. The O-liners continuity. right? Like we didn't add new guys, but we brought guys back. So that's another year together under Carm Brasillo. Don't let that go overlooked. So there's guys that are there. So I like it. I like what they're doing. There's optimism. You got to be realistic, right? You got to hope Wilson can do what he can do. He can hit the guys that are open. You get some things there. Some guys take those next steps. You hope that Banks with the new, DB coaches, both the new DB coaches, that they'll help develop him and bring him up. And that's a positive right there, right? So you added depth everywhere. So I like what they're doing so far. Now let's see if they can do it on the field. So I like it. So everybody that was in here tonight and the comments and everything, Mark, Cole, Darius, Mark B, V, everybody was here. We appreciate all you guys, being here. It was fun. The annual, draft, Rush Appreciation Draft Show. We appreciate all the love, the support. We absolutely have the best fans, without a doubt, with Rush. So, Truth, man, it was fun. We did it last year too, so this was fun, man. I had a blast.
This was really good. This one here. We only had one pick to call. It was fun.
Yeah. We made it worth it. So we're gonna end the show with both our intros because I appreciate it.
Can't handle the truth.
And one last
Miss the fireworks. There won't be any fireworks. And here we go.
Thank you, New York Giants Rush fans. Another great draft. Thank you so much.
See you guys.